All right, welcome to SirLucien's gaming channel tonight for a special one-shot adventure where we're going to be playing Crypts of Kelemvor. We have some returning players, some new players, and you have me as the DM once again tonight. Hopefully this is a couple of hour adventure. This is called the Crypts of Kelemvor, which was released in the Dragon Plus magazine, I think issue 18, the latest one. And it was written by some of the people that do the Neverwinter MMORPG. And so they were doing kind of a cross-promotional of creating an adventure. So I thought it'd be really cool if we went through it. It was a chance for me to get to try it out and play it and show people what that adventure looks like. This is going to be done in Roll20, as you can see that we've jumped in. And we have our players, which we'll go ahead and start introducing at the bottom of the screen. So going from... I guess as the pictures are to my right, we'll start heading out that way. So we have, you can go ahead and introduce yourself and what character you're going to be playing tonight.
All right. Me? I can't.
Oh yeah.
I can't either.
Okay, so don't have your, okay. So actually next to me is Sivero.
Sivero.
There we go. So we'll let you start off.
Hi, I'm Becky, or LB Hackemup. I am playing Sivero today. She is a Yuan-ti bard, and she grew up not knowing that she was Yuan-ti. She thought she was a lizard folk, and just really deformed because she doesn't have legs. But she kind of found out through her adventures that she was, and now she's trying to learn about her people and like just adventure and figure out what's going on with the world and all the other races and whatnot out there.
Awesome. Yeah, our group tonight will be a 4th level group going through this adventure. If you are reading this or planning on playing it yourself, or if you're a DM out there and you want to run this yourself, they do have some different notes for if you want to run it as a 4th level, a 5th level, or different things. So you can definitely check that out. Again, that's out on the Dragon Plus magazine. All right, so our next character over is going to be Kayzahiir. I'll let them pronounce their names.
Kayzahiir, the Black Dragonborn. I will be played by the indoor adventurer, as found on the screen. After this, I am Black Dragonborn. I have no horns on the side of my head. I work for the military of Syria near the Sea of Falling Stars. I ended up meeting with Sivero. From there, I leave the military and join them on their adventure.
You're doing super good. You want to check your mic volume as far as picking up. It's coming in and out a little bit. So you might want to either switch to push to talk or move that bar over so it catches more of what you're saying. But it sounded really good.
All right, I will switch to push to talk. I'll be resident new.
There you go. I'm always push to talk. Just that way, if my dogs go crazy, you don't hear them go spastic. So.
You gotta listen to me type and everything. I'm not gonna go that route.
We're just gonna kick.
All right, is this better?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. All right, so I'm a Black Dragonborn, though I have no visible horns. I do have a tail. I was part of the Sembia military towards the Sea of Forgotten Star or Fallen Stars when I ended up meeting with Sivero, and from there we've been setting out on an adventure to try and find more about, well, their people.
Awesome. And last and least, I'm just kidding, one of our
Only
normal regular players that you see him in many of my games, probably almost as many as PB plays in. And had her computer been up, I bet she'd be in this game too. But we have Fawoosh. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Old Graybeard. Tonight I'll be playing Fawoosh, the dragon Kobold Sorcerer. It's I imagine my character caught up with these guys at some point because they needed a dungeon delver and a little more someone who's used to creeping around tombs and whatnot. So that's where they picked me up, somewhere on the Sword Coast.
Awesome. So for those of you joining us in chat, I watch chat barely when I'm doing the DM portion, so I'll try to answer questions towards the end of the show. If I don't seem to get to your answer, you can always put them up on the comments of YouTube, because once this is done, I'll go ahead and put this video up on YouTube so that people that missed the actual live show can actually watch it there too. And that is youtube.com/SirLucien, all one word, Lucien. So, all right, and Ice Overlord had asked, how often do you do one-shots, and how do you decide who plays? Well, I try to do them as often as I can, because I love one-shots, and I decide who plays by who can meet the schedule, and who has a pretty good microphone, and is willing to put up with me being their DM. So that's usually the three things I look for, and who I'm going to do some one-shots for. So it was really nice that Indoor Adventure, he was a subscriber to the Twitch channel, so he won a spot in a game. So by being a subscriber to the channel, on the first week of the month we do a show, he was able to join in on one of our one-shots. So that's why he's here, and we welcome him. Graybeard's always here. He's somebody that lives in town here with us, friends in real life, and gets to play in almost all my games just about. And Becky is also here in town, and I found out that she was a big Critical Role fan, and the minute I find out anybody's a Critical Role fan, I ask if they want to come play D&D with me, because I'm a big Critical Role fan too. So that's how it all kind of worked out this game. But you can see our other games also on Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays and Sundays. There's shows and things. Just check the channels out. You'll be able to see all kinds of stuff. So okay, let's jump in. Let's get going. Let's get our adventure going. So now our 4th level characters here, they know each other. They've adventured with each other. And but they're a little bit down on their luck. It's been a little while since they've had their last job. They've tracked down some rumors of some runes and some things that they could do, but by the time they got there, other adventurers had already got there before them and cleaned everything out. So they've kind of been in a little bit of a hard spot lately. Now, as we're going to go through, we're going to move down. They have just heard about a possible job over in what is called Ebon Downs. So deep in the silvery wisp swamps off the southern high road lie the burial grounds known as Ebon Downs. Here, many generations of local folk have been laid to rest, interred with barrows, crypts, and tombs. The villagers of Grim Hollow have watched over these grounds for many years, with each generation passing on the duties to their children. Under their watchful eyes, the Ebon Downs have seen peace. So you've been hearing some rumors that maybe that peace has not been so great lately, and some acolytes of Kelemvor have been going out to the surrounding towns and up and down the main road there, the main called, I just read it, the Southern High Road, up and down the Southern High Road, looking for people to come and help out over near the Ebon Downs. And our would-be adventurers have decided to head that way to see if there's anything that they can do and if there's any adventure to be had, and hoping that they get there before any of the other adventurers get there and clean everything out. So where we're going to pick up is traveling. You guys are a little bit north when this happens. You're going to be traveling south along the southern way, and you're heading down towards Ebon Downs. You've heard of where it's at. You know that you're supposed to go and talk to a priest of Kelemvor there who is asking for some help. But I think what we'll do is, before we actually get to that part, we'll set the scene so that we can get a little bit of what it looks like for our characters as they travel, what it is they look like and they wear, what are some of the things that are prominent that people would see as they pass by. So think of this as as you describe this, let's say a farmer who's on his cart. He's heading north. He's got a whole wagon full of potatoes and turnips and all kinds of farm stuff that he's bringing to a town or a village that you guys have already passed. And as this farmer kind of moves his wagon over to the left side to give you guys quite a bit of room, what is it that he actually sees coming down the road? And I would imagine, who would be in the lead? Who is the person that's furthest ahead? And who would that be?
The Dragonborn.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta check out for so along from his cart, this man would see about 6'6", 250 pounds, very built out, with a tail poking out from underneath that just sort of slides back and forth along the ground. But looking at the that there were blue eyes on what would otherwise be a completely black face, with a kind of grayer lower jawline that would resemble what he would more commonly know as a Dragonborn. Although, to be fair, without the horns, it does sort of look like just a larger lizard man.
Awesome. And what's the type of attire you have? Like, what's the armor look like? What is there? Cloaks? Is there capes? Is there none of that stuff?
Of course.
You know, what is it that, and what weaponry, or if any, they would see? Does this farmer kind of look at as he goes by you?
He would most certainly notice the two-handed greatsword that I have resting on my back. That has a pretty mundane-looking scabbard, I would say, to actually be able to hold this thing. But the hilt and the pommel. Are actually made of a very ornate-looking bone material, and the leather on the strap seems newer, but like it's been well used. And upon further inspection, that bone would be dragon bone that is resting on my shoulder. But the armor that he would see me wearing would be a chainmail shirt. That's sort of more tightly pressed against my Dragonborn frame, and then I would also have my the symbol of the last rank that I was while I was the soldier, which is the rank of a quartermaster. Even though I know it doesn't really hold as much footing here along the Sword Coast than it did towards the Sea of Fallen Stars.
Well, awesome. Well, actually, here's a neat little thing that during your last successful adventure, you were able to trade some treasure in to another adventuring party, and they had found, though they had not slain or anything, but had found several black dragon scales, and you traded for those. You used up most of the money that you had, although you still have some pocket change, but most of the treasure that you've collected in your years of adventuring, you gave it to an armorer from one of the main towns that you were at, up in Neverwinter, and he was able to craft you out of those black dragon scales, scale armor, or basically dragon mail armor. So you can go ahead and put down that you have a scale armor on your character sheet. It gives you a +1 above regular scale armor because it's made out of dragon scale, and you will have resistance against, since black dragon is acid, you will have resistance if you happen to be sprayed with acid. So you can add that to your character sheet. And it was created in such a style that it matches kind of your specifications. It looks like it fits you perfectly. It's in a style that you have chosen, and it's something that would show great honor if your clan or tribe or people have seen or do see in the future. They would be very impressed with the workmanship. Awesome.
As like a post note, I am very impressed with this workmanship as well.
Right. Yeah, you're beaming as you get to wear this prominently. So who would be next in line as you guys maybe go single file to let the cart go by? So the eyes of the farmer has gone from this Dragonborn, who's just an impressive sight of a black Dragonborn, and then who's the next in line as his eyes then see that next person?
I think it should be Faouche.
Oh, all right. All right. I was gonna bring up the back because you have a tail, right?
Yeah, I need space to walk.
All right. Okay.
I'll take it back.
So the farmer basically sees a ratty patchwork cloak that's obviously even over his pack and everything, because he's only like 3 feet tall and only weighs about 30 pounds. And he tries to keep the cowl down so that common folk don't see that he's a kobold. Now, if looking under that cloak, I want to do a reveal later. So, but I am gonna say he's a red scaled kobold, and he's I guess he's got like darting eyes. You know, they're the reptilian eyes, but they've got yellow slits, and they constantly flitting everywhere. So he's very wary. I don't think maybe he'd see the, you know, top of a hilt of a scimitar sticking out of the cloak as he was walking, maybe. And then, but he tries to keep his feet even hidden, because again, people see those clawed feet and they freak out. So,
all right, awesome. And one of the things that that you were able to acquire in the most recent adventures that you've been on is you were able to pick up a ring of protection. So it's a +1 ring of protection that you were keeping close.
Sweet.
all right.
And that'll bring us to our third party member, the third person this farmer sees as he goes from a very tall and imposing Dragonborn to a small cloakish figure behind him that's only... Now, how tall were you?
Barely 3 feet tall.
Yeah, so about 3 feet tall, maybe even childlike looking, though he's not sure as he sees some of the features and thinks, no, that's probably not a child. And then his eyes turn to our last person in our party. And let me tell you one thing just before you describe this, just so you have this. Your item that you got in your most recent adventure was a hat of disguise. And it allows you to cast once per day Disguise Self spell, which allows you to kind of, you can look it up in the player's handbook, but it basically allows you to choose something you've seen and make yourself look like them, which has helped you fit in when needed. Not that you have to have it on while you're traveling, but that is the item that you get to write down on your character sheet also. But go ahead and tell us, what would the farmer see as the third person in our party?
So he has his eyes at kobold level, and then he catches a glimpse of the dark red long dress. And as his eyes go up, it's kind of embroidered at the top. Not fancy, but gives a little bit of speciality so she doesn't feel like she has to wear jewelry. A very slim face with red markings on it. The eyes are very dark. She has black hair that cascades over her shoulders. Her hood's kind of, well, no, she wouldn't be wearing her hood. She's wearing her hat that kind of sits on the back of her head a little bit with a brim, a wide black brim. She's got the red and orange and a little bit of yellow scaling on her face. She's playing a flute, just a sweet kind of traveling song. And as she walks, as the gentleman is walking by her, she makes kind of coy eye contact. And as she licks her lips, her forked tongue comes out and kind of splats across her lips. And then she goes back to playing.
Yeah, you see him kind of take the stirrups and he kind of snaps them so that the horses and everything go much quicker. As he's looking over and he's looking where he's going and he's looking back and he's looking where he's going, and he heads off into the distance to the north, leaving you guys in the dust. All right, so you are able to travel for another couple of nights, and you finally get to where you think you need to be, and this is where we're going to jump in. So as you enter what is left of a rundown temple of Kelemvor, you feel a strange wave of warmth pass through your body. Fawoosh, you could probably make a Arcana check if you're proficient in it. Also, yeah, I would think I'm going to get the name wrong each time I say it tonight.
Sivero.
Sivero.
Like
do you
it's
have? Are you
severe.
proficient in Arcana?
I'm not.
Okay, yeah, okay, so just Fawoosh, okay. 15 is good enough. You kind of recognize that as some type of warding spell that you've just walked through. So they're around this entire temple. There appears to be some pretty strong magic. So the temple is small and is missing part of its roof and one wall, and you see a priest of Kelemvor tiredly stands watch, looking out over the barrows beyond, and an armored cleric stands in the center of the area next to a campfire. The cleric looks forlorn until he sees you, at which point he smiles, his smile brightens, and he beckons you over to him. He introduces himself as Doom Guide Solhearth, the one who sent out the request for aid. Solhearth is not the most talkative person, and he gets straight to the point. And as he looks at each of you, and he kind of does a grand gesture and says, "Welcome. This is the Temple of Kelemvor, our fortress. It's our stronghold against the Lich Idris and its army of undead." And he kind of points out past the temple is this valley. And in the valley, you can see that there are many, many, many gravestones. And he says, but it's not as secure as it should be. He says, a great lich had once fought a battle here, and all of the undead that he had rose as an army were defeated in this valley. If those were ever to rise up again, they would sweep out onto the southern road and then wreak havoc along all the civilization up and down the coast. It is this temple that stands before them and keeps it at bay. But grave robbers have broken into the crypts beneath this temple and have broken several of the mystic seals that ensure those who are buried there remain at rest. So not only are we keeping this place safe from the Barrowlands out in the valley, but even below our own temple, there are dead rising now because these seals have been broken. I need you, and I'm hoping that is why you are here, is to enter the crypt, relight the sacred braziers that will destroy the undead, and bring back the broken seals. I can repair them, while the holy fires of the braziers will keep any more undead from entering the crypt. As he looks at the three of you, and that's, he just gets, I mean, there's no preamble, there's no, hey, who are you guys? You know, what's your name? Tell me your life story. It's just like, here's what I need you to do. And at the end of that is like a punctuation mark of saying, waiting for your answer of, is that why you're here? What is your answer?
And Fawoosh steps forward, throwing back his patchwork cloak, all 3 feet of him. And he's red scaled, and he's wearing red like satin and silks with gold embroidery. And he says, "Fear not, for Fawoosh is here, the flame of Hundara. We will defeat the undead."
All right. He gives you a nod, and the acolyte that stands beside him almost steps back as now he realizes there's a Dragonborn, which is normal to him, the normal one of the group. He had been looking at the Yuan-ti, and then the Kobold with his great flourish steps back, and he's like, what creatures are they? And the main priest kind of puts his hand up before he's able to finish his sentence, and he says, "I must apologize to you, great adventurers. It seems that not all," as he looks at the acolyte, "have learned the wisdom of Kelemvor. For it does not matter what race, what creed you are, for we all die and are put into the ground, and that is where we shall rest. And that is Kelemvor's duty, to make sure that rest is unbroken." And so the main acolyte priest is joyed that you are here. He is thankful that you are taking his quest. And he has his acolyte lead you into the temple, where they're going to take you down to where the crypts are. All right. Cool. So there's not a lot of small talk as he lights a torch and he begins to take you inside, and you go down some dusty hallways, and you do see clerics moving in and out. You see some in battle armor. You see some that are more in robes. You see some that are more book type. You see some that are more battle type. You see some more that are stealthy type. They all seem to be clerics. They all seem to wear the badges of Kelemvor. And they're going in and out. Some are heading out to the barrows, and it seems like a lot of their duties have them going out into the barrows, but they're asking you to take care of what's happening underneath the temple itself while they do those duties. So as you go down, we're going to go ahead and move you guys over to another area, and let's bring you in. So let me grab your tokens a second. And this will bring
I've never
you
played
to...
Roll D20, so I'm excited to see how this works.
Yeah. And that is awesome, because I like teaching people how to play.
Hey, Sivero.
Yes?
They called us great adventurers.
I know, I'm so excited. But why do they need us if they're so strong?
Well, I mean, who's really stronger than me? Let's be honest here.
But there are so many of them.
It's fine.
I
We'll figure it out.
I am worth 30 of their kind.
That is true, Fahush. You are so brave.
And of course, he reacts like that's what you should say.
And I know that.
Okay, so let's move you to, here we go, the great reveal. So down towards the bottom of the map, you should see yourselves, hopefully. Now, remind me, because I didn't go through each character, I know Fawoosh has 60 feet dark vision, correct?
Correct.
I don't think the Dragonborn does.
Nope.
And how about our Yuan-ti? Do they have dark
Yes.
vision? Okay, you do. So let me get that set up on your token, so that'll work. What is the
Is it supposed to be all black?
Yeah, and then it's dynamic lighting, and it's awesome. At first, it's disconcerting, particularly if you're used to playing on a tabletop. But eventually, it's really great because you'll step around a corner and oh my god, you know what's there is suddenly there. So that it really is good if it's set up that way.
Yeah, so you guys should be at the bottom of the map. So do you see yourselves down at the bottom?
Yep, the tokens.
Yep. And you're in like a room?
Yeah, like it looks like stairs and a door.
Yep, and a door. So does everybody see that?
No, I only see
So
black.
there's a slider. If you look on your right hand side, pull the slider down to expand the map, to shrink it, and then use the gray slider bars at the top and the bottom, kind of etch your sketch style to kind of move around to where you can find yourself.
Oh, geez. Oh, that's the zoom button. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a big map, so yeah, it might
Yeah, you're gonna want to zoom down to about, the 25%
Oh,
mark.
yes, I see it. Oh, we're in the middle.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Okay, and Kaz, you can see it? You're good to go? Are we losing?
Oh, no. I push to talk. It's still the same problem.
Making the noob mistakes. That's good. Okay,
I
so
couldn't
everybody
see
can
before,
right?
but I see where we are now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because there's a torch on the wall which is lighting up this stairway. So you see a steep set of stairs lead 60 feet down to the east of the temple to a wooden door where a Kelemvorite priest waits. He unlocks the door and beckons you through, handing over a small candle lantern, a heavy striking stone, and a steel rod the size of a large dagger. He says, he turns to you, whoever's in the lead, and he hands this to them, and he says, "Only the spark of this rod and stone can light the braziers of balance. You will find them throughout the rooms. If you can light them, that will keep undead from being able to rise underneath the crypt. That is one of the things you are trying to do," he says dutifully. And then bring the seals back. You'll notice what the seals are. He gives you a description of the seals that you're looking for. They're basically like carved marble, and usually they're in the hands of a statue of Kelemvor, and you should be able to find them near that statue. So if you find any that are broken, your mission is to bring all of the broken seals back so that the head priest can go ahead and fix those seals, and to light all the braziers of balance. Okay.
Cool.
He says to you as he's starting to open the door, the way to the south has been cleared of any bodies that were buried, so there is nothing that you need to do to the south of the crypt. Everything that you're going to be dealing with is to the north. So as you go in, and I'll move you over, and actually what I'll do is I'll move each of you over.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay. And you are now inside the crypt. Now, realize that 2 of you can see with 60-foot dark vision. 1 of you cannot. So you're either going to have to rely on if there's lighting down there, or if there's not, you're going to have to figure out a way to help Kaz see as you go through this crypt. And you guys can rearrange yourself as far as which order you want to be standing in as you go through the door.
Yeah, he handed Kaz a candle lantern, right? So he should have like a 10-15 foot aura of light.
Yeah, a small candle lantern. If you light it, he gave didn't have anything in it. He also handed you a heavy striking stone and a steel rod the size of a large dagger. And you're saying Kaz has those in possession?
Yeah, I would assume.
All right, so Kaz, you have those items. If you want to light the lantern, you can.
Yes, please.
Okay, you're gonna have to hold it in one hand, which means if you're using.
Oh yeah, when
sword,
it's fight time, I'm dropping that and going for it.
All right, so let's give you some light also. Then we're gonna say that's probably, it doesn't do a lot of light, but it's at least something. So we're gonna give you 20 feet of light off of that, and dim will start somewhere around 15-ish.
And we've traveled together. Siro, do you have the light spell by chance?
Probably. I think so, yeah.
Because I do not.
All right, so the
I have dancing lights.
Yeah, that works. That's a good light spell.
Okay, yeah. If we need it, I feel like we're
So
okay
the
for now.
acolyte that's brought you down, he has the door slightly parched open. Is there anything you would like to ask him before you see him ready to shut the door?
Do we know which way's north?
Just like on the map now. So up top, going up
Right.
is north, going down is south, east and west.
But
so it's the
do we as
furthest.
characters know?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
You know north is up on the map here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
he
I
points
would
it out to you.
Yeah.
I would ask the acolyte. So you're shutting us in here, but how do we get out when we're done?
Is there a secret knock?
Yes, if you bang on this door, I will wait for 10 minutes to be sure that you are not being chased or overrun by undead. If you knock a second time, then I will open the door, knowing that you are safe.
Thanks. I
That's a long
suppose.
time.
I take it we're not the first ones if you have to wait the 10.
Yeah, he's like, that is true. These crypts have become quite dangerous in recent days. And
Sounds
he
like a
says
good
to you
time.
as a way to reassure you, but if you do fall, we do promise to bury you properly once we retrieve your bodies. That will be on our charge.
Faouche is
Thank
already
you.
Faouche is already looking for like blood stains and like scratch marks, broken fingernails on the back of the door, kind of thing.
Yeah, so you see the door shuts loudly behind you as the last of your group passes through it, and the sound of a lock being turned on the other side is ominous. You stand in a short hallway. To the south is a thick metal portcullis gate, and is rusted shut, showing only a dark corridor beyond. To the north, the hallway opens into a small room. What would the group like to do?
Faouche?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this is your call, buddy.
Yeah.
Well,
Please lead the way.
door, onward.
And he strides forward.
All right, so what you can see ahead of you, you see a large stone door with no handles stands to the north. You see a large brass lever on the wall beside it. And there is a magical torch around... Oh. Yeah. There's actually a fire here.
Ooh.
That has it looks like well, it's more of like Where's that? It looks like it's kind of burned down, like it's been, it was somebody had lit it, but it has been going for a long time and is now very small, very faint kind of light giving off of it.
Just enough to light a candle or something with it.
Yeah.
Was someone down here recently?
You also see a cloth knapsack that appears to be sitting next to the fire area. So it looks, it kind of
left us
seems
snacks.
like this might have been like a campsite or somebody had stayed here, though you do not see anybody as you've moved forward.
I don't see any dead bodies. That's good, right?
Generally speaking.
No.
So,
All right. So, I'm gonna go over and check this snacks bag.
I was gonna say, generally speaking, in our past adventures, has Kaz always been the one to like pick up treasure and search bodies, or because being noble, there's I would not take to it, but I also wouldn't leave any treasure behind. So
It would be he just picks up really easy to pick up things. He's not going out of his way to like search through a corpse. But if there's just a bag on the ground that he doesn't know what's in it, he'd probably look through it. Maybe not first, but
all right,
just
yeah.
curious.
Then I am aware of your wasteful ways, and I will definitely do the proper searching of stuff. So.
I am gonna go ahead and take a look at the walls and see if I realize anything about them. Try and like smell them, and are they super old? Do they smell like death?
Yeah, this definitely seems like an old stone structure. It has the musty, dusty smell of a crypt, of old bones and dust. You get the smell, the faint smell of from the fire. So at some point, maybe that fire was larger, and you can get a little bit of that smell of wood, and burned wood and that such. But it's really faint now, as if this is burned down quite a bit. And then you mostly smell your companions. Other than that, and again, you have a large stone door to the north with a big brass lever on the wall next to it.
as far as caves go, this is kind of the worst one we've been in.
I don't know. Seems pretty well put together.
It smells bad.
And Kaz is saying that to you as he's opening up the knapsack. And inside it, you find what looks to be a glass vial with liquid inside it.
What color is the liquid?
It's kind of a golden color, almost. I mean, it could be mistaken for a liquor. It could be. It's got some. If you hold it up to the light, it kind of shines through it a little bit.
Arcana check to see if it's like a standard potion.
Sure.
Yeah, Fwoosh. This is definitely more your speed. I'll hand it to him.
All right. And oh, snap!
Damn!
Yeah, nailed it. So you recognize it. Maybe you even taste just a tiny bit of it. And it is definitely a potion of healing, though it does have the scent of brandy also. But now you have a potion of healing also.
Ooh. Are you adding these things to our inventory, or should we be adding these things to our inventory?
Whoever's picking them up will probably want to write them down.
So I will. From our past adventures, does Sivero have healing word or cure wounds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I'll look up at Kaz and I'll be like,
Most people don't see me. You might want this. Healing potion.
Yeah, oh. Awesome, thank you. And I will happily take it back.
Should we try the door? It looks very heavy.
Luckily, I'm good at lifting.
There's a lever right there.
Yes, but it's so much work.
All right. I wait for Kaz to get to the door and the lever.
So you move your token indoor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aha!
Does it
Yeah.
seem like it's out of place, or does it fit in the door? Does it fit in well with the actual structure? Is it something they threw together for this?
No, it seems like it was supposed to be here, and it seems like the lever next to it. It feels like it would be something that might open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, it's going to be a thing where we pull the lever, and then the door's only going to stay open so long. So we got to get through.
What? Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get ready, like, to slither as fast as I can. I'm like in a ready to go position.
The marathon slither.
I can go really fast if I'm on my belly.
And the squares on the map are a 5 foot. So when we do go into combat and it matters, you'll be able to count the squares that you're moving around. 5 foot. You can do diagonals and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
When we're not in combat, like right now, it's okay to move forward or move around a little bit, but you want to go a little slow so that I can keep an eye on you, just so I can see in case there's something there I want to tell you about when we go in the rooms. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
So is the scene now? Kaz gonna hit the lever?
Yeah, I will definitely pull the lever, because I know that it's a little bit higher up than Fawoosh could possibly jump up and grab.
Yeah. So you pull on this brass lever, and you see dust billows as this thick stone door slides upward, revealing the area beyond.
And I say as he does that,
Should we have checked for traps?
Keep an eye out.
All right. So now you can see beyond. You see a magical torch around the corner of the hallway lights the way forward. You see 2 doors stand ahead of you, and Kaz, as you're holding the lever, you can feel that if you start to move the lever up, the door starts to come down. So it's clear that it's not very quickly, but it's clear that once you let go of the lever, the door is going to drop again.
I told you.
Wow. You're so smart, Farouche.
I'll step in.
Okay.
Do you have the door?
I still have the door lever going.
Is it okay if I go through?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Nice.
And you see Fawoosh stomping on the ground on the inside, like looking for traps. So.
Okay.
I try and stay around him so that I'm not stepping where he hasn't stepped yet. But also making room so that our friend Kayzahiir can get through the door.
And does there look like there's another lever or a way to open this up once we're inside?
Good idea.
Not from where you're standing.
Oh. So we don't want to be trapped in here. What do we do?
So each of you can make a intelligence check.
Ooh, I'm very intelligent. Not.
A save or check?
Check is fine. A save and a check would be the same at this point.
Oh.
But that's okay. All right. So yeah. Kaz is the only one that recognizes it. The other two, it's not that you don't recognize, but maybe this is because Kaz understands a tactical advantage. And as you're looking at it, you realize if this is a place where they're worried about undead overrunning, it would be common for them to put in doors that would shut so that if one of the rooms became overran, the whole place wouldn't be overrun. So it makes kind of sense that they have these doors that will shut, and there's probably mechanisms somewhere else in the area, though it may not be right next to the door, but there's more than likely ways to open these doors somewhere in the crypt.
I'm gonna say to Kayzahiir,
I have a shovel. Do you want to wedge it in there just in case?
Is this door made of stone, or is this like a wooden door?
No, very thick stone. You can tell.
That's not gonna hold this thing up.
Can,
Thankfully, there is another way to open it once we get inside, but all things considered, this is the only lever I know of currently that'll open this here door.
Well, I think it wise that we find that before we close ourselves in.
We could put a python spike into the lever, and
What is that?
and I rummage in my pack and pull out a hammer and a spike.
Oh. I like
But
this
what-
idea.
But what if we need that door closed and jamming a iron spike into the lever accidentally breaks it?
I am going to look around and see if I can find the other lever.
Okay, well, let me tell you what you and Fawoosh see right where you're at so far.
Sure.
Okay.
So you see two doors stand ahead of you, a metal portcullis gate to the west, and a stone door straight ahead to the north. Fawoosh, you can kind of see through the portcullis, and you see that there's another corridor that extends some 20 feet before making a T intersection. A brass lever stands beside the portcullis on the west wall. To your right, when you get to that spot, you see a statue of the god Kelemvor, its hands open as if it were holding something, and it no longer is holding something, and you think you see what looks to be like a couple of pieces of marble sitting on the floor at the statue's feet.
All right. Fawoosh strides over and picks up the marble pieces, I guess one at a time, and tries to put them up in the hands.
Well, you can tell they're broken, and this is the. Let me put it on the map for you.
Okay.
Just happily holding a lever.
Yeah,
on
no,
the
I was
door.
like, can I search and
It's not
see?
so bad down here.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's nice.
Yeah.
There's a breeze?
No waves of undead.
Not yet.
And you said so the marble pieces are broken?
Yeah, it looks like it's been damaged.
Okay.
It definitely fits the description of one of the seals.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's awesome.
Can I search for the mechanism so that we don't get locked in?
Yeah, you can do a investigation check.
I got this.
Yeah, so
Solid.
you search the walls all around you, and though there is a brass lever next to the other door, you think it's going to open that one. You're not seeing anything that opens this door right here. It must be deeper in the crypt somewhere that opens this door.
I don't know, guys. We're going to be trapped down here forever.
python and hammer.
And I start walking back. And I guess I walk out and I look at Kaz like one last time to stop me.
Well, at 3 feet, where are you going to hammer a spike in?
So basically where the lever goes into the wall, he's got it up. I'm going to put the spike in so the lever can't go down anymore, like a
Does he
wedge.
need to be lifted?
Yeah, this is like, I imagine it was like 5 feet high.
It's all right, Fawoosh, I got you.
And I'm gonna pick him up like a
Alright.
child.
Again, I only weigh like 30 pounds.
I
So.
All right, so
Uh,
you drive a spike into the handle of the...
You know what I'm saying? It's a lever like this, so when it goes up, I'm going to try to put the spike in at the bottom so it can't come down.
Well,
I
he
mean, do I
pulled the
think
lever
that's going to
down.
work? Oh, he pulled the lever down.
Yeah, he pulled the lever down.
So then up top, we'll put it in there to keep the lever from coming up.
Okay. So begin to hammer away.
Right.
And you start making a lot of racket as you hammer this piton into kind of the side of the stone where the lever is going to go up. And you're not sure, but Kaz, you'll have to let go of the lever to see if it's going to work.
I'm going to stay on this side, and I'm going to start cleaning out my flute.
Okay.
It's kind of not paying attention, but...
Yeah, with both of them on the other side, I'll just let go and see what happens with.
I'm the only one on the other side, right?
Oh, no, because you had to lift him up, so it was either.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding.
Great. So yeah, you let go of the lever, and it seems like it's holding thus far. It does seem like this brass lever is straining against it.
See, we're great adventurers.
Yeah.
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 I know.
We're pretty good at this.
Have any of you fought undead before?
I'm sure we have.
Have we?
I don't.
Are they common?
You guys can decide what kinds of adventures you went on before. Maybe you have. Maybe. You
I mean, if there's crypts and tombs,
That's true.
I've been there, so I guess I
have of course fought the undead.
And you have been victorious, yes?
They burn well.
Ooh.
And I point out the broken seal to Kaz in the hopes that he will pick it up. Kind of gesturing, like, look,
Ew.
part of the quest is already done.
Do we know how many we need
I'll
to pick
duck
up?
underneath the door.
Do we know how many there are?
That would have been a fantastic question to ask.
Sure, what up?
I look up in the
could
corner.
be making up numbers.
Yeah.
I look up in the corner, and there's obviously like, oh, now that we have one slash, and there's a number, so we know how many we have to find.
I think we need at least 2.
All right, so I'm gonna put this one that you've grabbed. I'm gonna put it in room number 1, and that just lets me know you guys picked it up. So I know that way I'll be able to count them easily. So I know which ones you've grabbed.
Sounds good.
All right. So what's your next step here? You have a couple of possible directions. You need to make some choices.
Fearless leader.
Farouche will step around the corner just to see where this goes.
All right, so you can see that it leads into now to the east. You definitely see a huge chamber supported by arched pillars, and features a ceiling 10 feet high. From that position, let me look at what you can see. Okay, so you see what looks to be at the very edge of your vision, an ornate sarcophagi stands along the far wall. It looks like there's probably some torchlight in there, similar to the magical light that's right here next to you guys. So similar to that one right there. In the center of the room, a waist-high marble brazier is carved with symbols of Kelemvor. You also happen to see a mutilated body sprawled before it. Wood is stacked and ready for lighting within the brazier, suggesting that the body might have been an acolyte attempting to light it. A scroll lies on the floor next to the body. So that's this here. Okay, so you see that?
Okay.
And then other than that, you have a portcullis to your left heading west. And you can see in between the bars, which appears to be a hallway and another door down. And there's a stone door with no lever that leads north. No indication of how you would open it.
Kayzahiir? Kaz.
Yeah.
Okay, Kaz. Okay. Where, should we be keeping track of where we're going? Crypts are treacherous and winding, yes?
Well, typically, but as a sort of religious thing, I would assume they had a general structure of how to get in, get out, make things efficient.
Faoush, is that true?
Generally, crypts are laid out in some kind of pattern, unlike kobold tunnels, which are winding to confuse enemies.
I'm very
And,
confused.
And Dan, Lucian, is this is just like an alcove?
Yeah, it seems to be just a. Yep, just an alcove.
Okay, because one wall I can't quite see, so I thought maybe it was like there was a door there or something. I just couldn't tell. Faoush will move forward past the statue into the room.
I will sneak behind.
All right, so let's do the first thing we're gonna do here.
Roll initiative.
Over, maybe. let's do this. Let's have. What are some passive perceptions on your characters here as you guys kind of move to this room?
18.
Ooh, that's a really good passive perception.
Yeah, that's the feat I took.
9.
11.
9.
Yeah, I have to actively be searching for traps to get my advantage. So.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So passive perception wise, let's see what we get here before you guys move too much further. Oh yeah, they're terrible at this.
Oh, sneaking. I have a
Yeah,
sneaking
okay.
suspicion.
So there
about
is
this.
what you see. The only person that. Okay, so say them again. So passive perception was 18.
9.
Okay.
9.
And 11.
And 11. Okay, you all happen to see it as you move closer to the room. Is that where you're going to be, Kaz?
Yeah, I kind of have to be just so that way I can utilize my
Perfect.
torch.
Okay, so you see several bodies that look like they were trying to hide in the shadows,
Oh.
and then they recognize that you see them. They realize that they're not hidden because they were not very stealthy.
Mm-hmm. It's alright. I just have a high passive perception. It's not their fault.
Wait, the bodies noticed me?
So can I tell what they look like? Are they for sure undead or?
Yes, you see zombies
Mm-hmm. Did they
begin to
notice me noticing
shamble
them?
as soon as they recognize that you can see them.
Oh, shit.
They were hoping to surprise you, but they have not. Your perception was too good, and we're going to go ahead and we get to roll initiative. So this is how this works. So you first select your token, and then from your
Okay.
character sheet, you should be able to hit the word initiative, and it should roll for you. Okay.
Perfect.
Yay!
And then I
You can't see them. It's okay. It makes sense. It fits with the narrative. Okay.
get
I have to
roll
put down a
theirs.
lantern.
And I do enjoy it's lizard people versus zombies.
Mm,
Very metal.
very metal.
Cold-blooded versus cold-blooded.
Yeah. Versus
Or
no-blooded.
no-blooded. Jinx, owe me a coke.
Gross.
All right.
Maybe if we get out of here alive.
So we are going to enter our first battle. But before we do that, we're going to take our first 5-minute break. Let everybody get some drinks, use the restroom real quick. And when we come back, we're going to have some zombie action. Zombie on lizard action. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
It's the Battle of the Monsters. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bye. We are back. Let's get back into this. Battle music is ensuing. Fawoosh, you've got the jump on this, which you can see are these zombies who are coming out from hiding in the shadows of these sarcophagus. And you can tell that they're in motion of sprinting forward towards you and your group. What do you do? And you're muted if you're talking.
I are muted. Okay. I will. I'll stride forward 10, 15 feet. And then I shall. And is this like difficult terrain? Like if they were to come at me?
It's pretty big. This is clearly the brazier you're supposed to light, and you can see the corpse of a Kelemvorite cleric who looks like he was in the process of doing that, but these zombies must have attacked and killed him before he was able to light it.
All right, and then I will create bonfire.
Ooh.
Right there.
Ooh.
So it's a 5-foot square of flame, and anything passing through it takes D8 fire damage.
All right,
That's so
which square
hopeful.
was it?
Right there, in front of those two.
Okay, there's now a bonfire that ignites on the ground in front of those zombies. So that's your action, your movement. Anything else?
No, I think I will move a little more. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so I move 15 out, and I will move 5, 10, 15 back. And the way my create bonfire spell works is it's a cantrip, and it's very casual. He just more or less is like, and then this hand pops the fire up out of the ground, you know.
Okay. Remember to always describe it in case people aren't looking at your camera. Like me.
Oh, yeah. He sort of is like, you know, looking at his nails with one hand, and then he just raises his other hand, and fire leaps from the ground and creates a bonfire.
There you go. Okay. Sweet. So that brings us to Sivero.
Mm-hmm.
You are up. So you have, in a typical round, you can do a movement, an action, and a bonus action if your class gives it to you.
Mm-hmm.
What does your character like to do? It looks like these zombies are about to sprint forward. They're like in mid-stride.
Mm-hmm.
Just they haven't got to go yet.
Okay, so I am going to. She is going to extend her hand, and with a. One would describe it as a screech. She is going to sing out a note and cast Shatter. I don't know how to do the thing to make it do the.
So in the.
Yeah. Hold your left click.
Uh-huh. Oh, my left click. Hold it. Oh, there. Okay. There.
Ta-da!
There. So that is Shatter, which affects everything in a 10-foot radius sphere. They must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, so what you also can do is this way, a lot of times chat will be able to see it too, is if you click on the word of the spell, it should put it in the chat, and it should tell us all the cool stuff about it.
Ooh. Oh, I don't have to roll anything, it just does it.
Yeah, and
Great
so yeah, there you go.
adventures.
There.
So, right there. Nice. And I'm just going to look at it a second, and it says each creature in a 10-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's going to be all of them. And they're going to make a DC 14 or take half damage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, also, you hear that very loud ringing noise. Painfully intense erupts from that point that you've chosen.
Oh.
It is a sphere.
I meant to do that. I thought you meant it was like reverberating. Whoops.
Creatures made of inorganic material. Nope, they are organic, so that won't matter. Okay, so you can go ahead and roll 3d8. So you can type in /r space 3d8, or you can use, there's a rolling dice on the left-hand sidebar that you can choose to.
She should be able to press the button in the spell.
Yep, I think it said 18 thunder.
Oh, 18
Is that
thunder.
right?
Yeah, there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, I didn't see it. All right, so let me get out of that so I can do this. So, zombie number 1.
Is that right? 3d8 can do 18 damage? All right.
Yeah.
It-
If you
it
hold your
shows
mouse over
you-
it, it rolled a 3,
Oh,
a
yeah,
7,
that's
and
right.
an 8. So it's really cool. First
There
one.
we go.
We're going to say the top one, the north closest to you, first one.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls a 21, so is going to take half of that damage. We'll take 9 of it. Okay. As you see its body ripple from the shattering effect. The person next to it, Constitution check. A 15, that is over the 14, takes 9 damage also. As its flesh ripples from the shatter, and it screeches to the south. That one does not do it, so it takes the full 18. It's blown up against the sarcophagus. Its arms hanging limp. It looks like it might have a broken knee or leg bone. It's not quite dead, but it is very close, as most of its bones nearly shatter. That did significant damage to that one. Last one. Also, same thing, just nearly destroys the 2 southern ones.
All right. And
Nice
then I am
job.
going to use my bonus action. I feel like I don't need to move at all, but I'm going to use my bonus action to, I'm going to place my hand on Kayzahiir's shoulder, and I'm going to say,
Though your skills are dark, you have a soul that is red as fire. Go kill them.
You betcha.
so you get Bardic Inspiration, which is a D6 at this level.
Alright, so when you want to use that, you can roll a d6 to add it to, and it says in the Bardic Inspiration, but I think you can add it to a saving throw or an attack roll. You just have to decide. No, you can decide after, in fact.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So let's give you a little Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, but you have to do it before he says it's succeed or fail.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That brings us to Kaz. You are up. Your ears are ringing from this thunderous
Howdy.
noise.
Used to it by now. So I will set. I'll set my lantern down and then start moving over towards the bonfire because I can see the outline of the other zombies, but I don't really know that they're there.
Okay. Yeah, and you can move and stop and make a decision if you want to do something else. So you can move 10 feet and then decide what you want to do. And yeah. All right, so that used up
20 feet
20 feet so
should
far.
be. Yeah. All right. And then I will move my remainder towards right here. And then I will take a readied action in case any of those guys come through the fire or are within my hitting range. That I'll attack them.
All right, sounds good.
Through the fire and the flames we carry
So
on.
the zombies get to go, and they will begin to shamble. So one clearly moves, doesn't really care that the fire is there. So remind me what happens to it.
D8 damage.
All All right. Yeah. Yep. Go ahead and roll it.
No.
Ooh, nice. So its legs begin to burn as it goes through it. Still moving, still walking, moves to get closer to Kaz. The other one also is going to step into it and then surround Kaz. So one more. We'll use the 5 for that also. I think they would take the same damage. They'll take the same damage.
Oh, okay.
The other 2 are going to avoid it, and they're going to shamble forward. 5, 10, 15, 20. We'll use a dash action. 5, 10, 15 to get close. Can't attack, but has shambled that way. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20.
All right.
One last thing.
Because I have my ready action still for the first guy who came by.
Yeah, you're going to get the hit before their whole turn thing is over, and because they're going to make an attack here in a second too. You hear a door open to your south.
Rip.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. That was my bad, and I apologize.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, Jesus.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay. Take a look at my spells list here. Ooh.
All right.
There are more of them than I thought.
And, okay, so, Kaz, you make your attack first before they would get a swing at you, just in case you would destroy it. Which one are you going to attack? The one to the south or one to the east?
I was going to attack the one to the east.
All right. So your greatsword makes a mighty swing as it steps through the fire, and it's almost like it's looking down at its legs as it's burning, and the flesh is sizzling, and it's making an awful smell. And it doesn't even see your greatsword just slice right into it from shoulder to hip as 2 parts fall to the side, and you kill the first zombie as half of its body's burning.
First
the
blood.
other half stops moving.
Nice.
As it goes down. All right. But that does mean one zombie gets to take a swipe at you with its dirty, dingy fingernails and tries to bite at you. Let's see if they can get you with something here. So a slam attack is what they're going to try on you. This is a normal. Yep. So rolls a 22 to hit. So 3 bludgeoning damage if that gets through your AC.
AC, yeah, no, definitely takes 22.
Okay. So 3 bludgeoning damage to you as it rocks into you. As you were cutting the other one in half, you didn't quite see the one below get to you, and you just kind of you get like a bone bruise through your armor as it slams into you. The
This guy's a jerk.
one more had enough to get to you and still do an action. So one more is going to try to slam you while you were distracted. Oh boy, I'm rolling good. 20.
Ugh. Yeah, that hits.
Just barely.
6 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
All right. That is it for the other ones. They had to use more movement to get out of that room below. And that is as far as they get. So we get to the top of the round as we have a room full of zombies. Fwoosh, you are up. One... Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and take my chances and do Burning Hands. I should be able to get the 2 of them.
Is it a cone?
Yeah. So, do you want to look up the cone first? Because I can't remember if it's 1 and then 2 and 3, or if it's 1 and 3, or whatever it is. I should have looked beforehand, but I wasn't thinking.
Think it's a 15-foot cone?
Yeah, I know it's a 15-foot cone. Here, we can get the... Oops.
Oh, look at that.
Nice. Oops. All right. And no way for me to wing it over to get the other one?
No 5-foot step in 5th edition.
Okay.
You can get the 2.
Okay. All right. As long as I can get the 2, I'll use it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's. Boom and. Foosh. I'm going to. So the way he does his burning hands is he does like these kung fu moves, and then he puts his hands by his mouth, and then the fire actually comes out of his mouth in like a dragon breath looking kind of burst of flames. And the fire comes out, it's not quite what he wants, so he like takes a second breath and is puffs into it and uses a sorcery point to re-roll those 2 2s.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
So
-1. Feels bad, man.
oh, it rolls a 2.
Oh no.
Oh, I got a 5.
That makes up for it.
All right, so 3 more points of damage, so 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, so
12 total?
Yeah, so those 2 fire damage takes them down for sure.
Nice.
I was going to say they do have DC 13 save for half.
Yeah, they roll 1 and 11.
Oh, yeah, duh. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta watch.
So that's able to fire through them. As that flares out and the room lights up with this bright light for a moment, and then goes back to the dimness that it had. Anything else from Fawoosh?
No. I think, yeah, I'll stay right there.
All right, that brings
So,
us
no, I'm
to
good.
Sivero. All right, Becky, what are you gonna do?
All right, I am going to move forward 5, 10, 15, 20. And okay. And from here, I am going to she's going to kind of extend her hand out poison ivy style and take a breath in and just and cast poison spray at first level, I guess.
Okay. Nice.
So it's a 10-foot, it's 10 feet, so I can cast it on this duder.
Okay, so, yep. So another con save is what we need? Lots of saves here.
Yeah.
No, fails its save.
So that, did it roll it for me? Let's see.
No,
you need to roll this
just
one.
showed it, so that one you can type
Yeah.
in the 1d12 for it.
So it's r/roll?
Yep.
Or slash R?
R space 1d12. Also, there's a toolbar on the left-hand side that has like a dice, and you can use that little...
Who
Oh, look
needs
at that.
toolbars?
Nice.
Cool.
Okay, minus...
And I am going to, for my bonus action, I'm going to cast.
Here's what you
Inspiration.
realize right away.
Shit!
You realize that your poison is not affecting these dead at all. It hit it straight on. You expected it to start coughing and it start to kind of get a little weaker and the poison start to seep into it, but you realized it has no effect on them.
So I blow it at them. I kind of smirk, and then I'm like,
Yes, you did nothing.
"Wait a minute, did I do it right?" So I'm going to say, to Fahush as with my bonus action. I'm going to say,
You may be tiny, but you are the most strongest of them all. Go get them, little man.
and I'm going to say it with my hand cupped to the side so that Kayzahiir can't hear me.
in the midst of battle.
Yeah.
And
I'm the greatest.
Yes, exactly. He's fine.
he's right. And I puff and bristle with the pride, like,
Yeah.
of course.
All right, so you have bardic inspiration when you need it.
Mhm.
Nice.
All right, anything else? So you used up 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. You still have 10 feet that you could move if you needed to.
I maybe will take 5 feet, a 5-foot step back, just so I'm not
Okay.
maybe the first person I go to, but I wouldn't mind. But it's okay if I'm not.
Kaz, you're up.
Nice familiar, by the way.
Well,
Thanks.
they've been so gracious to put themselves in a line for me. I'd feel bad if I didn't throw up on them.
Oh, God.
I would too. Oh, I have one. Oh, you're gonna do the diagonal because the whole reason I did that
Yeah.
that token, which is funny, is because I was like, oh, he's gonna use acid breath at some point.
Oh
So
yeah.
I have one that is a diagonal one too. So hold on. Control C and let's bring it back over. Control V.
Kudos on your music choices, by the way.
So this one's oh, actually you're a line though. Oh, it's the wrong
Yep.
one. I was thinking it was the other one.
Mm-mm.
Okay, we don't need that for now. Never mind.
Yeah, so just, those three guys have to make
Yeah,
the
10,
DC
15,
11
20.
decks.
Easy. Here we go. Let's just get that out of the way until we need it. I was thinking it was the spray, not the line. That's cool. That's the line. I just did a blue Dragonborn not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Super fun. Here we go. Dexterity to try to dodge out of the way of this, which they're not very good at. First one. Second one. Third one.
Nice.
Right.
Oh.
Two of them take it full in the face. Third one, half damage. As the acid begins to burn away at skull, bone, skin, hair, bits of armor, cloth, what remained.
And then I don't have a bonus action I want to use right now, so I'll wait.
And just so everybody knows, for our game, we're going to do the round up. So if something is halved, and it's like some odd number, we're just going to round up. So in this case, I gave that person 6. So that'll work for you guys too, or for them. So we'll just all use the same rule: round up if you have to.
Sounds good.
Okay. So that went out. Now, is that an action or is that a bonus action?
To throw up is a full action, and so I didn't have a bonus that I felt like using currently. So I will be waiting in case anybody tries to leave.
All right. Bringing us to the zombies.
Zombies.
So we have Mr. Acid Boy heading up towards Sivero.
Acid boy.
We have one coming around the column to get this little scrappy kobold if you can.
To his death.
We have...
Ha!
let's see. I think it's going to go up after Sivero also. Looks like a tempting target.
It's true.
There we go. So, all right. They all had, that was their movement. Let's do some battle combat here. So starting with Kaz's guys. Swing number 1. Oh no. Swing number 2. So
Okay,
first
second one didn't hit.
hits you, and it hits you, it rocks you hard. It's a critical hit. It smashes in. You're pretty sure you have a broken rib at the moment as 10 bludgeoning damage sinks into you. But it hits you so hard and makes you stagger that the other swing from the other zombie misses you, as the first one has rocked you out of the way of the second shot.
I look at the one who crit me and just, thanks, buddy.
Let's go up to Sivero's. We have first one, 7, and then a 20, not a natural, but just a regular. I'm assuming the regular one hits. So you see the first one swinging towards you, the fist. You duck under it as it goes over you, but what you didn't see is the boot of the other zombie coming out and kicks you as you kind of duck, and you take 4 bludgeoning damage to your arm, like the upper part of your arm as you get rocked into it.
Ow.
So 4 bludgeoning damage to you. And then, Farouche, you have 1 on you. 15, what's your armor class?
18. It's good to be dragon.
Yeah,
bloodline.
remind me, it's because your dexterity is high? Is that why you have a good high?
Well, I start with dragon resilience, which makes my base
That makes you
armor
tough.
class. That makes me, well, maybe it's the other one then. One of my dragon bloodline abilities is my armor class. If I'm not wearing armor, I'm scaly, and it makes my base armor class 13. So then
Okay.
13 plus my dexterity of 4 plus the ring of production 1 gives me
Yeah,
18
so on
armor
this
class
one-
wearing nothing.
Yeah, perfect. So normally your scales, so it's a 15. So this was more about you dodge out of the way. So we see this thing swing at you, and you kind of duck under that swing as it smashes its hand into the wall next to you, and then you kind of move back up, and you're ready to fight once again. You've
Right.
taken no damage. Back at the top of the round, round 3. We're only 12 seconds into this fight.
My ribs are broken.
Yeah.
All right. God, I don't want to burn all the spell slots right away, so since he's gonna stand here, I'll just pull a bonfire up underneath him.
Okay, so the one that's still out there, that's still lit?
No, it disappears because
Oh,
that
one's
is a
gone.
it's a concentration spell. So if I cast it again, whatever one's there goes out, unless it's burning naturally due to I started it under a pile of wood or whatever.
Okay, so you move it over.
Yep.
I
and
am now
it's
in
when
the
his
dark.
turn starts, he takes the damage, right?
Right.
Okay. Right, that brings us to Sivero, unless you're going to move.
No, I want to stay right here,
Okay.
so he stays right here and burns up.
Sivero is up.
All right, it's my Dragonborn friend. How bad do you look?
I'm kind of bloodied right now, and also my one source of light just moved.
Oh, well. Okay, then I will.
Let me do one
first-
thing that'll help. One
Sure.
second. Give me 1 second. So you guys can. One of the things we do in our games is we show the bars, health bars, just to give you guys a little added
yeah.
adventure or advantage.
Yeah.
So let me turn those on because I forgot to do
Sure.
that for you guys. And then that'll help you make your decision there. There you go.
Okay. So I am going to get hit in the arm by that dickhead, and then I'm going to bring up my flute with my other hand, and I'm going to do a little, I wouldn't say guitar solo, I'd say flute solo.
Yeah, a flautist,
Just this one,
right?
a flute
Some Jethro
solo.
Tull.
Yeah, exactly. And I am going to
No,
cast.
I'm thinking Ron Burgundy at the
Yeah,
jazz.
yes,
jazz
yeah,
band.
that's it. Yeah, but just one hand, so it's only half of an octave, or like, yeah.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to cast Healing Word.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
No, I'm casting it on Farouche. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So what does this magic look like? This is the first time we get to see what the magic looks like. So we know the flute triggers it, but what do we see visually happen over towards Kaz? What's this magic look like as it heals him in some way?
Think Disney princess, Colors of the Wind. So Sivero's eyes are normally very dark, and not that anyone would be able to see this except for the zombies, but her irises kind of shrink into the more serpent-like line, You can see the red around her eyes, which is a little bit of orange in there. And the flute expels this magic. It looks more like little bits of air that are sort of a red, not firelight, but like just a little warm light that kind of go and circle around Kayzahiir and like do the whole, Disney transformation. Oh.
Nice. Yeah, you feel that rib begin to. Oh, it's only sore now. You think that bone has knitted itself together a little bit. You don't feel the blood flowing. There's not as much bruising, but you can still feel a little bit of it. You're definitely not out of the woods quite yet, Kaz. All right, so we have
still feeling it.
So that is was that an action or a bonus action to do healing word?
That is a bonus action.
Perfect.
And then
so you still get an action.
I'm gonna pull out the flute, do the thing, and my arm is still down, so I pull out a dagger.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just kind of stab one of them with it.
Yeah, swing away.
Cause why not?
Get him.
Yeah, you stick it right into which one were you swiping it at?
Probably
One looks
the one
damaged
directly in
from
front of me.
fire. Yep, that one has acid, has burned it. The other one looks untouched. So the one directly below you?
Yeah, the one directly below me. I'm just gonna
Alright,
kind of
so
gut him and like under the ribs. Not that it'll. I know
yeah,
that
it
it
sinks
probably
deep.
won't too much.
Yeah, it sinks deep in there, and it's like this. It's not really like a blood that comes out, but it's more like a blackened, congeal
Ugh.
out as you pull it out. But you've definitely wounded it. It's near its last legs. Only a few more hits should probably put this one down.
Sweet.
All right. So are you going to stay there? Or are you going to move away?
No, I'm good here.
All right, I'm staying in it.
Yeah.
Kaz, you're up.
All right, first order of business. I'm gonna use my greatsword on the guy right in front of me.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? So, greatsword hits,
Yes!
cleaves it, and you see the body fall to the ground.
Excellent. And then I am going to do an action surge. Or, not action... Well, I'll do action surge, but first I'll use my bonus action to second wind.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. So, you bonus action second wind gives you some health back.
Nice.
There you go.
Dang.
Yeah.
Puts me back at max. Yeah.
Nice.
Now,
All right.
is that visible, or is it a magic, or is it just,
It's just
Gut-
sheer fighting power.
Just
guts
will.
is enough?
Yeah,
All right.
nice.
Oh, yeah. And then action surge, and I'll hit the other guy that's standing there.
All right. Using all his abilities. Here we go. Hit him. 17 is a hit. Oh.
All right.
So
Uh,
close. This one is not quite down. He's staggered. You're pulling your sword out of him where you've almost cleaved him in half, but he's still holding together just barely. As you pull your sword out, you can tell that it's near death, near dismemberment, but you've not quite felled this zombie yet.
All right. I'm gonna then I'll leave his threat range and go next to Sivero to make sure that they're well protected.
All right. It's going to try to take a swipe at you as you move away out of its melee range as a reaction. Ooh, 18.
Oh yeah, that hits.
So 6, you're like, you thought you had him. It looked like you'd really damaged him, and its claws rake against the back of your neck as you move away from it.
That's totally fine.
All right. That brings us to their turn. We need a con save here, correct?
From whom?
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, for the fire.
Yeah, so it's...
Fire is a dex save, if it's my fire.
Okay, so the one that you saw that you killed begins to shudder on the ground
Which
and then
one?
begins to move again. this one here. I'm going to take the ones that no longer are moving or are burned away so that they're gone. And they turn just to congealed dust so that you're not confused. So those ones did not begin to struggle or come back, so we'll just remove them from the battlefield. All right, so that's on that guy's turn. And that happens... That happens when you make the hit, so now it's their turn. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do. This guy uses 15 feet to stand, or half of his movement to stand up, so half of it, and then he's going to use his other half to try to get to you. So 5, 10, 5. Yeah, that's all they're going to do. And then just some swinging. Some swinging the hits. So let's start over by Fawoosh. Here comes an attack. Misses completely. You actually, it's like it's feebly sends a shot at you, and you're not even so worried about it. You let it hit you, and your resilient dragon scales makes it so you don't even feel anything. Like you're not even worried about it. Then we'll go to the first one on Siv. Also a 5. Completely dodges out of the way. An 11. What's your AC?
Mine is
14?
14.
There you go. Yeah, miss again. So you duck and dive as your snake-like body is able to weave and duck around. You're very flexible. 2 on Kaz. Miss. Oh, Kaz, I'm just all over you tonight. 3 bludgeoning damage. So you try to dodge, like you see Siv do it, and she makes it look so easy. So you try to mimic that, and you do dodge the first one, but the second one catches you by surprise.
I didn't even notice him. I thought he was dead.
Yep, for 3 bludgeoning damage. All right, they are done. Brings us to
I just say,
Fawoosh.
it's all in the hips.
Okay. Yeah, and you've got like hips that are like this long, though, right?
Yeah. It's all muscle down. So
Yep.
whatever.
So, nah, I was gonna look all cool, but I don't think it's time to look cool. I will just cast. So basically, he's standing in fire, and I'll just like.
Oh, this one has fire. He's got to take the fire damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's right. He didn't take that. Does he get a save?
Well, he saves versus Dex.
Let's try that first. So let's see if he can do that. Because we don't want you to not get that. No, so he misses it. So he's going to get... What? Go ahead and give me the damage for that.
D8. D8.
Ugh.
Oh, well, I'll stick with that. And then basically, Fawoosh's firebolt is he just like and spits a little bolt of fire that then like almost like a firework whips through the air and hits. So
right,
I will
a ranged spell attack. Right
yeah.
Next to him, so disadvantage.
I know.
Ahead.
Yep. I'm gonna.
But he has advantage with pack tactics as a kobold.
But you're not next to me. I got to be within 5 feet
that
of
guy.
you
Okay.
guys. Yeah.
I thought you were attacking one of our guys. Sorry.
No.
I'm
Oops.
sure that'll happen at some point, though. All right. So,
No, I hit the wrong one. Oops.
Oh, okay.
That was burning hands.
Yep, burning hands.
So, try that again. Firebolt. There it is.
So
At disadvantage.
24, roll one more.
Yeah, why didn't it roll that?
You can toggle your rolls at the top of your character sheet. There's a toggle
Yeah,
there.
I thought it was on. Oh, it wasn't. All right. Well, I'll just roll another normal if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so a 9 still hits.
Oh!
Wow.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so I'm going
And-
to put a little flame on this dude, just so we know you burned him down. You burned him. How about that? There we go. Okay. Firebolt
Did he go
streaks
down?
out. No, he is still looking quite spry.
Okay, now I look a little nervous. My little slits get wider.
All right, Siv, you're up.
Okay, I have Psychic Blade as a thing, but I don't really remember. I think it's for my College of Whispers. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering what that one was. I was going to look it up.
Yeah. It uses up my Bardic Inspiration. I'll have to look it up because I don't exactly know, and I don't really want to use up my Inspiration right now. So I am going to... I'm just going to go Stabby Stab again.
Okay. Well, it did well last time.
Yeah. Go!
Yeah, 19 strikes.
So as I'm dodging out of the way of all these, I'm going to do kind of a... Not really like a pirouette because I don't have feet, but I'm gonna do a quick like spin around and like kind of do a fencing stab with a very short dagger.
Nice. Yeah. You
Gets
cut
the
through
job
tendon
done.
and muscle and everything, and it looks like this thing is nearly ready to fall over. Just a few more, points
Pokes.
of damage to it. Just one more stab would probably put it down.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this.
All right. Anything else from Civ?
I'm okay for now. Everyone's in a fair enough place, I should say.
Kaz is up. And go ahead and look up that Psychic Blade if you want, just so
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
that one is.
All right. I will attack the stronger looking ones that's been attacking Civ.
Okay, so this one looks like it's near death. This one looks like nothing's hit it yet.
Yeah, I'll hit that one.
Okay,
Or I'll try to.
so great sword swings, crashing into
Aye.
it for a nice 11 points of slashing.
Xanathar's Guide.
With my great weapon fighting, I get to reroll 1s and 2s on damage.
That is true. So I've already taken 11, re-rolled the 1. So,
Woo!
so 5 more points.
5 more points of damage.
Nicely done. Actually, I have a macro for that, but I forgot to grab it, but we'll work through it. All right, so you cleave into it. You've now made this one almost as wounded as the other one next to Civ. Still standing, staggered by the mighty blow of the greatsword, but definitely very wounded. Definitely another shot like that will cleave it right in half.
Sounds
Anything
good.
else from Kaz?
No, that's it. I'm just gonna stand there with greatsword out.
All right, so we're on to the zombies. Bonfire's still underneath that one, right?
Correct.
So he's
Yep.
got to make another dex check. And a 13.
My spell. That is my spell DC.
Okay, so is it a half damage or is it a no damage?
It is no damage at
All right,
all.
so he's dancing around the small flame and then tries to swing at you while he's doing that. Okay, so let's start there. Here's a slam attack. Ooh, a 20.
That hits.
2 bludgeoning damage as it kind of careens off your shoulder. Civ,
Hell.
1 reaches out for an 11. You dodge out of the way. A 5, you dodge out of the way of the second one. 1 for Kaz. You are able to, it hits your armor, but your armor holds true, doesn't let any of the damage go through. Oh, and then a 22 gets through.
Always.
4 bludgeoning damage. And they are done.
You're good at the zig, but then get hit by the zag.
It's that one,
Yeah.
too. That one zombie's hit you every time.
I got 2 left feet. What can I say?
And
This one really
Foosh,
hates you.
Foosh did say
How dare you?
when he get hit.
So Fawoosh is up. I think we're on round 6 now. We're 18 seconds into this fight.
I'm gonna
Or no,
try this.
36 seconds.
Try the same thing with the firebolt. With disadvantage this time. And 18. Does that hit?
Oh yeah, strikes it true. 3 more fire damage. You're whittling it down, but you realize these small chunks of damage are just not getting through too well to him. He's still up. Still looks like he's dangerous.
All right. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't feel wounded enough.
Up.
Okay, I looked it up. It's when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can extend one of your bardic inspirations to deal an initial 2d6 poison damage.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I put. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
I don't know why I
already
put...
recognize poison doesn't work against these guys too well. So okay, yeah.
I'm useless. Yeah, I don't want to make a lot of noise, and I don't. They're not wearing metal, right? I don't really want to use a heat metal on these guys.
Not necessarily on these guys. No, they have tattered clothing, no weapons to. It's just, zombies. Bodies that have risen.
Okay, and they're probably not that intelligent, so I'm gonna go stabby again.
All right, it's been working. Let's see what you do.
It has, let's not. Now it's not gonna work. Watch. Oh shit!
23 hits solidly, so that is that. So it's got to make a con save because you did that, and it's got to make a. Let's see what it does. Oh, it misses it. It dies. It is not going to come back.
Yeah, I don't know that.
You can describe how it dies.
Sure. So I had done my piercing attack, and then with my arm extended forward like a fencer, and then I'm doing some twists and turns as I'm dodging, and I'm going to, because I don't have like legs or knees, I literally just kind of slip my body out from underneath me so that I'm mostly on my tail, and kind of my waist is more on the ground, or my hips, my waist area, and I'm going to stab him upwards into the rib cage, and then I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to kind of flick him with my tail a little bit just to make sure that he's dead, because I have seen them get up before.
Yeah, it's like you're nudging him, and it doesn't seem like he's moving at all. It seems like he's done twitching.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be like, stop getting hit.
All right, so we're moving to Kaz, or are you going to do anything else?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, Kaz is up. Great sword in hand.
All right, time to hit out at the one who was who I struck out at last time.
Yeah, swing away. Crashing into it. Nice hit. It's got to make a con save. Let's do this. Oh. So it slams to the ground. It stalls for just a second, and then its head whips back at you, and its eyes glare at you as you see it start to try to push its way back up.
Now you're just cheating.
It is prone at the moment, but it is going to try to get up on its turn. Anything else for Kaz?
No, that's all I can really do.
Okay, oh no. Zombie's turn. All right, Fawoosh, your bonfire still going?
Correct.
All right, let's do some dodging. No, it does not dodge. Give me some damage.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 8.
Nice.
Oh, let's just check something out here. Okay, so it's not that, and it's not that. So it goes. Needs to make a con check. Okay, so you see it go down. The fire start to burn it. It collapses for just a moment, and then it begins to drag itself out of the bonfire.
Why don't you die?
How much were we getting paid for this?
Not enough.
Okay. Well, and actually, yeah, it was funny. You probably would have asked him that before you had left. And we'll do a flashback scene in your mind as you're thinking that. You remember the cleric saying to you that they were giving each of you 20 gold, but you were able to keep any of the magic or treasure you find in this crypt, for the dead will no longer need it, is what he said to you.
Is that like a lot of gold or like $100?
20's not a ton. The draw to this is going to be either being heroes and doing the right and what's good for, you know, all, but also it's possible that there's treasure or magic items down here, things that were buried that you guys will be able to keep. That's probably more of the draw than the 20 gold.
Okay.
For your guys. All right, so let's get some attacks going here. So he's going to use his action. He's going to move out of this bonfire. He crawls his way out to get away from that, and then he's going to take a swing at Foosh. And misses completely. There's only one more on Civ, who's still trying to gouge your eyes out and has not been able to hit you whatsoever. One on Kaz. Ooh, 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Jeez!
6 bludgeoning damage. And then the last strike. An 18.
Oh my
Five
god.
bludgeoning
You
damage.
wanted to be the tank. You wanted to be the
You're
tank.
tanking the damage for sure.
Oh my god.
I'm doing good.
You're doing great, buddy. You're doing great.
These zombies, we realize their tatters are like ninja uniforms.
Yeah.
I like how both of you are just like, this isn't so bad. It goes over to me.
It's bleeding.
If only you would have lit the brazier.
I know. Well, I thought it was like you do it and then they can't rise, not they would deter them from being risen now.
You won't know until you try.
I am not that intelligent. My character isn't that intelligent.
Fawoosh
Yeah, I
is up.
didn't really question it either.
All right. Who's up?
Fawoosh.
Oh, sorry. None of us are that bright. I take it. That's the whole party is like, meh, whatever.
I mean, I
all
don't
right.
have the shit.
I will.
I'm very. I don't have a lot of intelligence.
I will.
It looks like it's. I mean, you killed it. It looks like it's almost died once. It's just reconstituted itself in front of you. It looks very damaged.
All right.
Definitely one strike away.
Yeah, I'll. I will dismiss. I'll stop concentrating on the bonfire, and I will. Not that I have to firebolt, but I will firebolt him with disadvantage. Oh, blah.
7 misses. Yeah, flies
And-
out into the room.
As my interaction,
You could use your.
Bardic inspiration. 'Cause you're the strongest.
Sure, that sounds amazing. Let's throw a d6. 10? 10
Yeah,
hit?
it does hit.
Woo! All right. So 9 damage.
Yeah, nice. -9 puts it down to that, so it's going to be a con save. Oh, that's a shame.
Wow.
So it gets blasted by your firebolt, knocks it off its feet, right?
Right.
Sits for just a moment on the ground as if you've got it. You're ready to do a victory dance, and then you see its feet begin to twitch and move again as it starts to try to push itself up.
Okay. Little kobold grump face. He just, gets all wrinkly.
We'll take this off for now because he's not on the bonfire. Okay. Anything
Do you
else,
wanna move?
Fawoosh? Movement, bonus actions?
It stepped away from me?
Yeah, I got blown back by your firebolt by 5 feet
Okay.
as it fell down.
Now that I have my scimitar out, well, no, I will stay right here. And I will quit having disadvantage.
Civ is up.
All right. Well, I see that my friend is very in trouble because he's He's kind of a brick wall that people like to hit. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at first level to heal him. So as I am snaking out of the way of things, I'm going to just not caress like in a sensual way, but just like as I'm going past, have my hand out and kind of just touch the side of his scaly head and like continue to dance but flail, mostly flailing.
Nice. 12 more points back to you. You're staying in it, Kaz. Good job.
Nice. Oh,
Any
man.
movement
Good
or
job.
bonus actions?
You know, I'm feeling pretty confident, as you know, one would. So I'm going to step forward
Okay.
10 feet. So I'm not leaving anyone's attack radius.
Yeah, no, you're staying right in there. Yeah, good.
So I can draw attention. Which one has been hitting him a lot?
Well, these two have fallen and then risen again, the ones that are
Right.
next to you. So you know they're
Yeah.
like one blow away from going down. It's just, is it
Right.
enough to destroy the enchantment that seems to be bringing
Right.
them back up?
Is this the one that has been
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
the one that
can't.
hits him the most. Yeah, that one.
for shame? So I'm going to try to draw the attention of the one that's directly in front of right there,
Okay.
if I can.
All right. That brings us to Kaz.
All right, I am going to try and strike out against the guy who's been hitting me a lot, because I'm tired of this dude.
Yeah, he has a grudge against you. Swing away. 19 hits. Oh, you do massive damage to that guy.
Teaching him a lesson.
'Cause he only had that 1 point. He's
Oh.
got to roll a... Ooh, this could be a tougher one for him. Let's see what we get. Con save. Doesn't make it. You can describe it. How you destroy that guy. Go ahead and describe it.
Oh, at this point, I am just so fed up with this guy just constantly slapping me when I'm not, like, when I'm trying to dodge other people, that it's an unceremonious just uppercut with the sword, where his top half just kind of spins in the air a few times before landing about 5 feet away from where his other half was, just to try and really make sure these two parts are not coming back together and they are not going to caress me while I'm trying to be in a fight with other zombies.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you can tell you've broken the enchantment that must have been re-knitting flesh together.
Strong enough to break magic.
Any other actions or movement?
No, that's all I can really do.
So let's end with the zombies here. They are distracted. 2 of them are distracted by Civ. 1 is still going to strike at Kaz. None of them have to take any other things, so they're going to make 3 attacks here, and then we're going to do our quick 5-minute break. So first one on Civ. Ooh, a 20 hits you for 2 bludgeoning damage as you're trying to duck and dodge, but you get narrowly hit.
Is that the one that's right in front of me?
That's this one.
All right, cool.
And this one swings and misses Civ. And then this one tries to... Actually, we'll move just slightly and then try to hit Kaz. And misses. There we
And
go.
would I be able to use my reaction with Sentinel to swing out at the other zombie? Because it only requires them to attack Civ and not actually damage them.
I believe so. Let's see what the wording is on that. That's the feat, right?
Yeah, that's the Sentinel feat.
Yeah, it's in the player's handbook real quick. Let's open that up. Or if you have it ready, read it to me.
Yeah, I have it written. So when a creature within 5 feet of me makes an attack against a target other than me that the target doesn't, and the target doesn't have the Sentinel feat, I can use my reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the attacking creature.
Yeah, so you can hit this one. Yep, go ahead. So you use your reaction to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Solid.
Crashes into it. So that's going to give it a... Ooh, yeah, this is going to be a tough one for it to make. Let's see if it can do it. Con check. Oh!
These GD zombies.
They're like, will not be undone.
Yeah, you cleaved it, but then you see necromantic sorcery begin to stitch its body back together slightly. Not completely, it's not totally healed in any way, but it's enough that it starts to try to rise once again. All right, and with that, we will take a 5-minute break. We will come back and we will finish this fight. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Our intrepid warriors are being put to the test for sure. So, be back in 5 minutes. I've got it on my clock, 10:07. So we'll be back at 10:12, or look at your clock and add 5 minutes to it. So we shall be right back. welcome back. We're still waiting on Greybeard to show right back up. It's going to be his turn right when he gets here. But what we're probably going to do, this was meant to be a one-shot adventure, but as you can see, for those of you that have stuck with us so far, sometimes battles take a little longer than you expect, and it takes up a little bit more time. So what we might do is I'll talk to my players later, and we will see. We'll probably turn this into maybe a two-shot, so it's like a 2-episode special, which will be fun, because I think we have really good characters, we got really good players, and we'll get through the whole thing, I think, if we do 2 of them. So we're going to go to about 11 p.m. tonight, so we still have another hour of action once Greybeard is back. And but after that, if we need more time, we'll go ahead and schedule another session. We'll bring our players back, and you'll get to see how this ends and how this goes. Hopefully they don't die TPK in the next few moments.
Well, now that you've said that.
Yeah,
I believe in Fawoosh.
So Fawoosh is back, and yeah, one-shot is never actually a one-shot is true. I think this, now that I'm looking at it, for those of you that might run this module, or it's not a module, but it's an adventure they created, it's probably a 1-session sitting at the table, and you're going to run all day. Like, you're going to have a 6 or 7 hour, maybe an 8-hour kind of session on a weekend with your friends sitting at a table. And even like Becky had said, if there was a couple more players, some of this would have went a little quicker too. But I think when we do just 3-hour sessions online, you definitely want to plan for maybe a 2 or 3 sessions to get through the module. But it's pretty good so far. They've done a great job on it. The maps are beautiful, and we're having a good time, so we're going to keep with it. So, all right, here we go. Fawoosh, you're up. Let's go.
Right. So I think it's worth spending a second sorcery point. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to quicken spell. So I will go basically 2 firebolts, like kind of thing, and at him. And now that Sivero is got him distracted, I have advantage since I'm not standing next to him. So 1 and 2.
Nice.
All right, so the first one is going to make a con check. Ooh. It's laying on the ground, but the necromantic sorcery re-stitches its bones and flesh together from where you burned it. The other one has to make a check also. And that is going to be also prone on the ground, but you have not dissipated the necromantic energies that swirl around it yet. But they are prone right now, so anybody else that tries to attack them will get advantage when they attack. Do you have movement left? You want to do anything?
I'm good right where I'm at, I think.
All right, Civ is up. You have 2 zombies that have fallen to the ground, hit by firebolts. But what do you do?
Well, I really would like to take my hand crossbow out and shoot them in the head, but doing that I know that doing that would probably not be good. So I am going to go ahead and cast. I'm going to shout in. Let's see what languages I know. Something probably Abyssal.
Okay.
I'm going to shout at this one over here. Did I do that right? Yeah. And I'm going to use Vicious Mockery. And basically what it translates to is a slew of like insults, but they're not very good insults, but it sounds really good.
Yeah, fails its save, so it takes that 3 psychic energy to its brain that's being powered by necromancy. It's going to need to make a con save as it falls to the ground, wiggling and grabbing its head. Yeah, still as a point. The necromancy has not failed. all of you begin to think that, and Fuwoosh would probably know this a little bit if you guys had fought undead before too, that teaming up on the same one to put as much total damage on one of those things as possible is a good idea.
All right, and that has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay, good.
Just so you know. I'm going to, I know there's no free action, but I'm going to, once I finish that slew, I'm going to start to say in Abyssal, and then remember I'm not speaking in Draconic. I'm going to say in Draconic.
Should we light the fire? Is this something we should be doing now or later?
That's awesome.
I really don't know. I thought it was an after thing.
Kaz is up.
All right. So does it take an action to light the fire?
Yeah, what you do is you strike the dagger thing and you strike the rod that was given to you, and you make a check. And the check is. Let me find it. Broken seals. I know it's in here. I know I've read it. Dang it. Where is it? Broken seals. Doors, ceilings, light, sarcophagi. Yeah, it is an action for sure. And I think you just need to make a dexterity check.
Oh, God. All right. Maybe Fuwoosh should have been the better one.
You know that I am dexterous, so if you feel like it's not something you want to do, you can toss it.
It's not a matter of want. I also kind of think that this would be a good way of getting light in the room, so I'm going to try...
Oh, God.
Now remember, you still have your inspiration too, so you could use your extra die on this roll. So you do a dexterity check. So it's not a saving throw, it's a dexterity check. So just the, the dexterity, click on the word dexterity and I'll roll it.
What?
Nailed it.
Yes! So yeah, I'm gonna light that. And that's all I can really do.
Nice. Yeah, you see... oh, yeah, perfect, because it's their turn next, so this works out even better. So let's... So on their turn, you see this radiant fired light, and it's a yellow, but also probably more white than you would expect. And you see that all of these creatures... all of them that are still here laying on the ground begin to have white fire ripple across their bodies, and it started their turn, so it's 3d10. So you can roll, I'll let you roll 3d10. So slash R 3d10.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. We are great adventurers, guys.
Look at this. So 25 points of damage. It's radiant, so they can't come back.
We are such good adventurers.
They burst
fire, a hollow light along on the floor.
Into, think of Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark fire.
Nice.
The white fire from the Ark of the Covenant kind of thing, and they just disintegrate as the necromantic magic dissipates in the room. They are gone completely.
Let's find zombies I can cheat too.
I'm sorry I did not think of that earlier.
Yeah, no, in hindsight, that was probably our best decision.
We should have started with that.
Dizzy, what are you doing?
All right, so we're out of turn order. It grows deathly quiet after all of that noise and grunts and screams and shattering noises and whooshes of fire. Now you just hear the crackling sound of the lit brazier in the center of the room.
Sivero is going to pull out her parchment, and she's going to take a quill and kind of dip it into her side pouch, and she's going to write down zombies. She's going to start taking notes about zombies, mostly just can't do much, no sound, no poison, effed, light fire.
Good notes, good notes.
Thanks.
Now, the thing do notice is those doors are open. This door is open. Nothing ever came out of it, but that you recognize now that the battle has died down, that the door to the north is also open, and the door to the south remains open.
I guess as Fawoosh is crossing the room, he says something like,
"Usually the coffins have stuff."
And starts walking towards these, what I assume are sarcophagi.
They are, yeah.
All right.
I will join him over here.
I'm just gonna take a seat on the ground and drink a healing potion.
Yeah, so you see 3 ornate sarcophagi stand along that far wall, one of which its lid has been removed.
Oh.
2 torches along the side walls fill the room with some light, revealing open doors along the north and south walls.
All right,
so then...
Shall we look for treasure?
Should probably check her traps first.
You do
You're
see
so
a
smart.
scroll that was at the body that was next to the brazier. There's a scroll on the floor.
Ooh.
Okay.
And
we're
the
over.
sarcophagi are empty and seem to have been rifled through, as far as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Makes
Okay.
sense if this is the first room.
You also find on the Alkalite's body, the one that was kind of mutilated
Burned in the
next
fire.
to the brazier, another steel rod and another striking stone.
Ooh. Pocket. I'm going to put that in my pocket. Well, I'm going to put that in my bag.
And you can do an Arcana check on the scroll if you wish.
Perfect.
Yes, of course.
We're like, I'm kind of holding it above my head, reading it from down here while Sivero reads it from above.
Yes.
Yeah, you recognize this as a scroll of prayer of healing.
Ooh.
That's
Is it an action to use a scroll?
It is, and I believe you have to be of that class to do it.
Yeah.
So
I'm reading it, so he's holding it up, and I'm reading it backwards through the paper, and I'm just going to my fingers and my nails kind of crawl over the top of it, and I'm going to start rolling it up from the top like a blind, and kind of make eye contact with him, like, you know that this is for me, and put it in my bag.
I do a little curtsy, type bow.
All right, so
the rest of the room appears to be quite quiet and empty as you search along it. And searching the room and the sarcophagus and stuff takes about 10 minutes or so.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely I'll drink the healing potion during that time.
Okay.
So that's 2d4 plus 2?
That is correct.
All right, and I didn't know, I've been in situations where the DM has previously told me, yeah, it's totally a healing potion, and then I roll for poison damage.
Should I test it first?
It was tested. Yeah, this one is an actual, so so you can roll 2d4 plus 2.
That DM was not very nice.
Very mean. I would play with that DM.
Oh God, I'm 1 point away from being dead. Thank God I have a healing.
I spend my sorcerer points to let you roll those. Okay.
Please don't. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But here's what you do recognize is that it must have been put in a bottle that must have had some leftover brandy, so it tastes well as you get some of the alcoholic drinking effect from it, which is nice. It's like an extra bonus.
I, in general, will... Go ahead.
Can all healing potions taste like this?
Right? Well, I can make healing potions over time, so maybe I'll have to add that. You'll have to tell me about it so I can add it to my recipe. I'm going, in general, going to let Faouche lead the way in these sort of situations, so don't wait for me to tell you guys to go somewhere.
So, Faouche is going to make a kind of a, as he's searching and whatnot, he'll glance in here and just kind of see what he can see. Is that this sarcophagus also open?
All right, let's tell you. So as you look into that room, make your perception check with advantage for your dungeon delving, right?
Yep.
Yeah, make that roll for me.
Right, and advantage is on perception, you said?
Yeah, so you recognize that there are two pressure plates to your right along the wall, but they appear to be non-functioning at this point. And you see the small chamber features a single sarcophagus more ornate than those you've seen in the larger crypt. A destroyed zombie is sprawled at the foot of the sarcophagus, its splintered skull all but removed by some massive object. In front of you, you see that object, a spear coming out of one of two holes in the wall, which must have once been part of a trap guarding this area. So there's actually another zombie in here, but it stepped on the pressure plate when it was coming to find you guys, and the spear killed one of them that was coming out of this room.
What we have here is pressure plates, the spear, dead zombie. Think we're okay.
And he steps in. And is that sarcophagus open or closed?
That one is closed.
I'll be like,
Kaz, could use a little assistant.
All right, I'll go and try and open this thing up for him.
All right,
Sure,
so
this is a good idea, but I
strength check.
say that like while I'm lifting it up.
So strength check. It looks like a pretty solid stone that sits atop it, and you're like heaving, and you can't lift it.
Hold on.
That one, yeah.
And I'll help him to give him advantage.
You're not tall enough to help him get to the lid.
Oh, okay, all right.
You better help, sis.
Oh, sorry. I was just enjoying the cold floor on my tail.
So yeah, he can roll one more time. That would be the advantage.
Yeah.
You both of you still cannot lift it. It is solid stone.
It must be one thing. There's no way to get the lid off.
Is there a lever for this crypt?
Not that you see.
I could break it with some noise, but I don't know if that's a good idea.
I would. If you break the top, you might break what's inside. Probably. You know what? On our way out, we can spend more time on this thing. But for right now, we should probably just let it be.
That's a good idea.
To
Shall
the
we head
north.
north?
All right, so do you want to make your? Go ahead and make your dungeon delving roll again.
Thank you.
I will have picked up my lantern by this time again.
So, it's a new door, right? And a new room, or the room's open.
The door's open. Definitely a new room.
All right. Then I will use investigation to check.
Okay.
Ugh.
You're looking.
Studying's not better.
And you don't see any pressure plates or tripwires. You don't see anything. So what you do see is this chamber features an ornately carved bas-relief along the walls, showing the symbols of Kelemvor alongside magical inscriptions. The same inscriptions cover a sarcophagus against the far wall, which is far more ornate than those seen in the main crypt. Also, the sarcophagus is set with large red gems just beneath its lid. Hello.
I guess
Red
I'm like,
gem.
Hello.
he's like,
Hello, puppy.
It would appear to be all clear. Let's go.
Okay.
and he strides in.
Strides in. He's brave.
I will be in tow. In tail.
I'll take up the rear.
Unintended.
Ha!
All right. So what are you doing in the room?
Oh, but there's no traps.
No?
I
No
assumed
traps.
something was gonna go off.
All right. Check out the gems.
All right. Yeah, they look like gems that are set in kind of underneath where the lid would be. So they're kind of in just underneath the lid itself. And they seem to have been set, you know, in a as a way to decorate and show its opulence on this sarcophagus.
All right. I will investigate the gems to make sure they're not like magically trapped or something. Should I use investigate or arcana?
You. Yeah, I don't think the only thing you're going to be able to do, like if it was arcana or something, would have to be some type of spell you would cast to find something.
All right.
But
Then I just check them out and make sure they're not trapped, and then I guess I use your dagger, Dan, and I start prying at them.
okay. So, yeah, and there's 4 large gems. So there's 4 of them, and they're large
Okay.
gemstones. So as your dagger wedges the first one, the top of the sarcophagus explodes upward.
That's not good.
Fawoosh is the only one close enough that you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
DC 14. And do you get anything because of Dungeon Delver for this?
Is it a trap or is it a monster surprise?
It's a broken ward, basically. So I'm going to call it a trap.
Okay. Then I do get advantage on the save, and then
Okay.
I have resistance to the damage even if I don't make the save.
Okay.
Sweet.
And that's a dexterity saving throw?
Dexterity saving. Yeah, you're going to try to dodge out of the way of this large top.
Ooh.
Ooh, not enough.
Even with advantage.
So
Dang it.
you
Good thing I
take
have resistance.
3 bludgeoning damage, or you said half?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you take 2 bludgeoning
Okay.
damage from it as it kind of
All right.
careens off of the ceiling and past your head and then slams down onto the ground. And an armored figure stands up.
Nah!
Uh,
I immediately think that Fahoosh is just really strong, and he did that, and I'm just like, wow.
So the lid comes off. You see this gleaming knight's armor stand up and leaps to the attack. The room has magical wards, all the inscripting around it, fill the area with a sickly, pulsing red light. And it causes the door to slam shut.
Oh.
Oh no!
I am standing in the doorway.
Oh no!
Duck.
So
Dex
here's
save,
what's going to
dex
happen,
save.
Kaz. You're in the doorway.
Oh no.
Any character standing in the doorway, you must make a choice right now. You are going to try to dodge out of the way as this thing tries to slam down into you. Are you dodging into the room, or are you dodging out of the room?
I will dodge into the room with my friends.
Okay, make
Leroy
a
Jenkins.
dexterity saving throw as you attempt that maneuver.
Oh no!
You take 5 bludgeoning damage and you're knocked prone.
Oh no.
So you're on the ground, knocked prone, as it slams shut.
I just picture him like leaning against the trying to be, and then hearing it and going, oh, and then just falling.
And now, as that happens, everybody select your tokens and roll initiative.
Yeah.
All right.
Wah! Sorry.
Oof. Double oof.
Double oof, indeed.
I'm still in shock from the explosion and everything.
All right, so starting at the top of our round, Civ, you are a slight fraction of a second quicker than this undead creature that you may or may not have ever seen before. You can make a history check to see if you've fought one of these before.
Okie dokie, I can do that. A history check. Let me just jack of all trades. Doesn't include your proficiency, but okay. So this will be plus rounded down. So this will be +1 because of my jack of all trades. So 13.
Okay, so yeah, you have fought one of these before, and you know it to be a white.
Tell me more, DM.
So a white is usually a tougher undead creature, usually more armored, typically resistant to lots of damages. Most people who try to take them on use magical weapons or silvered weapons. You definitely know it's immune to poison.
Okay.
Those are the things you know of a white.
Okay.
They're a next level above zombie for sure.
Right.
Zombies may have been a little worrying. This has you a lot more worried.
Okay.
And you know that its touch has the ability to drain life.
Ooh. No bueno.
All right, so the
Should've moved out of the
flashing
room.
red lights in here is like this crazy rave disco party that's
Oh.
messing with your mind. So at the beginning of your turn, you need to make a intelligence saving throw or be distracted by the lights.
Okay. Let's do it.
You are not distracted. You are able to function normally even though the lights are strobing.
All right.
What would
Next
you like
time.
to do?
Oh, I do have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Just would this be one of them? Not that I didn't make it, but just in general for the next round.
Yeah, you would that would give you advantage then. I would say that would be fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Just for next turn. So because the door slammed behind me, I like jumped a little bit and like tucked my tail in. I am going to kind of reach down into the lantern that Kaz has, grab a little bit of fire on a piece of iron, and I'm going to cast on this creature heat metal.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, the metal. So on his armor. So on a failed save. Oh, he succeeded.
Yeah, succeeded. So,
Okay.
yeah, what does he get if
contact the object to fire damage. When I don't think there's a save. Is there a save? Because it's on him. Right?
Oh,
Choose
let me check.
manufactured metal objects such as metal weapon or heavy medium metal armor you can see within range. You cause the armor to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast a spell.
All right, yeah.
So there's
2d8.
no save. Until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause damage again. So
the
yeah,
saving
he's
throw
wearing
is,
it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
the
if he's
con
holding it.
throw is to see if he's going to drop the weapon or not, is what that is.
Right, but if I cast it on his armor, he would have to get out of it.
Yeah, but so he takes the damage no matter what. So you get
Right.
6 fire for sure. Okay.
Yeah. All right, and
So
I'm
you
going
can hear
to-
flesh sizzling from the heated up armor. Whoosh, you can feel the heat radiating off the armor of this creature.
and then I'm going to use another bardic inspiration for Wahoosh. And I'm going, that's not how I say it, but I'm going to say to him,
Don't let him touch you. You are a smart little thing. Get away from him and cast from a distance.
All right.
All right. Awesome.
So take your bardic
Mr.
inspiration.
White gets to go. And he made his save, so he's holding on to this very hot longsword.
no, it's his armor that's on fire, not his sword.
Oh, okay, you had to choose.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So yeah, he's gonna try to.
I don't think he drops it. If he's wearing it, he can't drop. I think it's just if he's
No,
holding
yeah, I
it.
don't think so.
I have to write that. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, he's gonna try a longsword attack and a life drain on Fawoosh here. So the first one. He rolls at disadvantage, but rolls a 19.
What?
I will. So what happens is he's about to touch me, and Fuwoosh is like, after what you had just said about don't let him touch me, I wave my hands up, and a burst of like fire rolls over me. I use my shield spell.
Nice.
All right, so that gives you +5 to your AC, and that should make it so the
Yeah.
19 doesn't hit.
Yep.
Nicely
Nice.
done. He will then, though, trying to touch you and then backhand you with the long sword as a second attack.
Oof. Okay.
Still at disadvantage, he rolls a 15.
Whoo. Okay. All right. I gotta
Wahoosh.
get rid of the spell slot here. Okay.
All right, that is his turn. He's actually going to move closer into the room like this.
Oh, good.
And that brings us to Kaz. You are up.
Okay. Yeah, I move 5 feet forward just to kind of be at this angle. And then I'll attack with my greatsword, because that's what I'm here for.
Okay. If you want to roll your history check too, you can see if you fought one of these before also. Oh, actually,
I have never seen this.
You've not fought a white before. You must make an intelligence check, an intelligence saving throw against the flashing lights to see if they distract you. Oh, they
14?
do- They go back and check. No, they do not distract you. Okay, you were good.
Oh, thank God.
So you rolled a 11 to hit.
An 11. Yeah.
That is not good enough to hit this creature. You swing
All
and
right.
miss. Any other actions for Kaz?
Oh, button. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh.
Sorry. No bonus action. I used my second wind earlier. I don't have it back. It is not.
Okay.
It is no longer my turn.
Fawoosh is up.
Oh man. Okay, so pack tactics, but I'm casting next to him, so advantage,
First,
disadvantage.
Let's do this first.
Intelligence.
First, the room. Yes, make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay, come on now.
Flashing lights. No, they are not distracting you. That is good.
I'm like into it. It's
Now, what do you want to do?
all right. Oh man. So Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Let's go ahead and quicken spell. I'm gonna use Scorching Ray, I think.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's actually 3 bolts worth, so I'm just gonna hit Scorching Ray 3 times here.
Okay. It's not rolling 3 damages, right?
No, it's not. There it is.
Woo! That's
So-
a crit.
So are you at disadvantage because you're?
No, because I'm next to him, but they're next to him,
Oh,
so it's
counters.
advantage and the disadvantage. So
So, first one misses, careens into the wall. Second one smashes into him for sure. So that's
Okay.
definitely a minus 12 for crit damage. The 14 strikes, hits.
Okay.
Oh. And go ahead, describe it.
oh,
Wait, did you do it? Did you kill him?
You got this, Foolish!
Shoot! What?
Okay, so it was like
Oh.
he whomped on me, the fire shield knocked it away. He like was gonna get our friends and come down to me, and I'm just like, oh no, his scorching ray looks like this. He puts his hands up near his mouth, and then it's like a little kid blowing bubbles, and like 3 dragon heads come out, and each one is like a flaming ray of fire, and just whack whack whack. And so it just literally hits him in the fiery metal, and it's so hot that it burns through. And then the second 2 dragon heads hit the same spot, and just kind of fire bursts up and out of the armor in different directions. So he just kind of sparks out, and then just the flaming metal hits the ground.
Nice.
And Foosh is shocked. But I didn't expect that.
You are so strong, Faouche.
Farouche is strong.
And he grabs, the lapels of his thing.
Do the wards stop, or do we need to take care of those
Still
two?
flashing, doors still shut.
Okay, I'm going to, since I was up next anyways, I'm going to tell my friends to cover their ears or ear holes. Probably say ear holes. And then I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Okay. On the door?
On the walls to break the ward, because it's right there. It's
Well, they're like
stone walls, right?
they're etched into the walls all around.
Yeah.
So they've like
So
been
it's-
carved into the wall.
Yeah, so I was hoping to like crack the walls so that it would break the wards. Makes sense.
All right. Yeah. Let's.
I can
Seems
certainly
good.
try, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll let you roll to see if this is going to damage them or not. So they have a. That would probably just be a ward. I'm trying to think of what it would be. It's not like Dex
Yeah.
because they're not dodging out of the way. It's probably going to be a Constitution, although it doesn't make total sense. But it's Constitution to say, can it withstand the magic?
Yeah.
So it's going to make a DC check. I guess I'll roll it that way because you don't want to
Okay.
have to do that. So I'll do a slash roll. So I'm going to do a slash roll 1d20, and they have to roll a 17 or higher to withstand your magic.
Cool.
So here we go. Anything lower than a 17, they are destroyed. Yeah.
Woo!
So the walls reverberate. Everybody's actually still, even though they've tried to brace themselves, is knocked around, maybe even nearly fall to their feet from just the echoing, thundering damage in here. You can see the sarcophagus lid moves across the floor again. A couple of the gems that you were looking at earlier pop out and are laying on the floor. And then the strobing light stops.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to hurt you guys.
And when she says that, she's yelling it, And nobody can hear it. Like, nobody. It's just lips moving.
Well, not having the observant feet, yeah, it's the same thing. I'm shaking my head like.
And I point in like a very mimey fashion to the ground where the gems are.
Ah, snatch.
Yeah, so you can write down whoever picks them up. They are estimated at about 10 gold pieces apiece, and there are 4. 2 of them that are on the ground and 2 that you can still pry off.
Right.
Great adventurers.
Yes.
And Siv, because you have such a high passive perception, you notice what looks to be like a hidden cover next to the door, and when you move that cover, you recognize that there's a hidden latch on the inside of this.
Secret
when you move
door?
the cover.
Oh, it's not a latch, not a door.
It's
Okay.
like it looks like when you pull it, something's
Right.
going to happen.
All right, I am going to pull it.
Yeah, you see the door rise back up again.
I have a little moment to myself where I'm like actually proud that I saw that and I did that, but I immediately like pulled back. Like, oh.
Farouche will like scamper up into the sarcophagus to make sure there's nothing in there, and then also look and see if the white itself's body and or sword are still available.
Everything is blasted apart, wrecked and bent, and whatever sorceress magic we had created this thing, when it left, it just, everything withered and pitted and rusted, and you can tell it's to the point where it's of no value.
Okay. All right.
Is there... So he's wearing fancier armor. Was there perhaps a military rank that was displayed on it that's higher than quartermaster?
You're
Yeah,
gonna steal your rank? What is your race?
You
Or
don't
your,
see one currently.
Alignment.
alignment? Yeah.
Fair enough.
But a few minutes goes by as you search the body thoroughly.
Is the do I have to hold the latch up for it to?
No.
Okay.
It seems like it resets it.
Okay, I'm going to get out of the room as soon as possible and kind of urge my friends to, just in case.
I follow
that
along.
seems like a good idea, yeah.
So we still have one part of the dungeon we haven't explored yet, which is over meow. Lead the way, boys.
Yeah, all right.
There was the other sarcophagus, but that's a for later thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've learned our lesson from that other sarcophagus.
Yes.
All right, stride forward and past the statue and give it kind of a look like, we're beating you, you know.
You're helping it, yeah.
Guns to the wind.
One brazier lit, one seal recovered thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Farouche looks at his companions and
Now's the time for choices. North or through the bar.
I'm gonna peek through the bars and see as far as I can see, which is what I can
You see
right
an
now.
intersection of corridors that features 2 stone doors, and there's a lever between them. And that's about all you can see from there.
I am going to start. I close my eyes and I start, like, it looks like I'm singing a song in my head, and then I say,
North.
All right.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
You see
Nice.
no lever that will open the north door.
I just look at Farouche like, you asked, do it.
Mm.
I can't lift that.
Yeah, it's a smooth, flat stone door. Looks like it probably rises up, but it also looks very heavy, and you're not seeing any way that you could There's no levers on this side.
It might be like the last one on the other side, where it only has the lever from the outside. So it might be one of those, you lift up the lever and it's a straight shot all the way out in case anything's following you.
Yes.
Kaz, can you lift these bars?
I mean, there's a lever.
You see this lever here for the bars.
Oh, excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I can definitely lift these bars, little guy. And I'll go over and just pull the lever.
He does a motion where he can't, like, he points like, I can't see that high.
Yeah, so you guys can just walk right past that door now that it's open. And when you hold the lever, you push it down and it stays in the position. It doesn't reset. So it looks like whatever way the lever is whatever way this door is. So if you pull it down, the bars rise up. If you push the lever back up, the bars come back down.
Right.
Are you
Sounds
leaving it
good.
up? Guys?
How quickly does it go up and down?
It's probably about 20 seconds.
All right. So I will actually. No, don't seal ourselves in. Okay. All right.
Is there another lever on this side or anything?
I'll leave it open because I know that the stone door is protecting whatever there is to spill out towards where the little bit of fire was with the pack that we found with the healing potion. I know there's a door there, so I'll leave this door open just in case we want to make use of the larger chamber for a short rest or long rest or anything if we're spending a bunch of time in here.
Okay. So, Fuwoosh, as you move forward, you see a sarcophagus to your north that's in an alcove. You see another statue to the south of Kelemvor, and you see a broken seal in its hands.
He does a little like whoop and jumps up and down, and his silky pantaloons kind of flare as he does it, and he says,
Good luck. Another seal.
and he points at it and then steps into the hallway.
Okay, yeah. Seems to be a hallway. There's a hallway that leads further off to the north. There's 2 doors, and there's a lever right here. And then there's the seal in the hands of the statue.
Does it look to be broken?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and look at it. I'm going to pretend to check for traps, but I don't think I actually know how to do that. So I'm going to just look at it and see if I see anything that looks suspicious.
No.
And if I don't, I'll just pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll put it in the room as it's been collected. You can put it on your character sheet too if you want.
Yeah.
You have now collected 2 broken seals. And with that, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll bring this session to a close where you have a decision to go through either one of the 2 doors or to continue northward where there is no door. And what I will do, for those of you that are stuck with us so far, I want to say thanks for showing up. It looks like we're going to have a whole nother session, so I'll talk to my players. We'll get a schedule down, and keep an eye out on Twitter, so you can find me at SirLucien Gaming, all one word. Keep an eye out, and I will post out there when our next game possibly can be, when I can schedule all these super awesome folks, and we can finish the Crypts of Kelemvor. So as we're signing out, let's just go through our players here a second. So we'll start with Greybeard this time because he was last time. Greybeard, do you want to tell us where people could find you if they want to find your other stuff, and tell us what you think of the module so far?
Oh, the module. I'll start with the module. Really good, good stuff so far. You know, as seen by all of the time I spend playing in his game, SirLucien's an amazing DM, and we got bogged down in the zombie room, and it wasn't looking good for us. We were like, we need some radiant damage, but yeah, and then the white that was high tension. But right now I'm mostly just playing in SirLucien's games. I'm having a hard time with work and life stuff, so a lot of my other Twitch channel stuff is down right now, though Sunday mornings I can't not play Darkest Dungeon, so 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, come on over sometime to Graybeard's Tavern here on Twitch, and we hang out and we have a good time with Darkest Dungeon. I get, you know, all kinds of crazy props and fun. Other than that, catch me on Twitter with Graybeard's Tavern, and that's where I try to post little things.
Awesome. All right, our CAD's Dragonborn player, Indoor Adventurer. Where can they find you if you want to give them something else where they can look you up? And what do you think of the module so far?
All right, so if you want to look me up, I am at YouTube at Simple and Keen. You can find me with the Indoor Adventurer, where I post a lot of more game design based videos on tabletop gaming and stuff like that. At Twitter, it is going to be twitter.com at Simple and Keen, all one word. I'm just starting out, so any kind of viewership is great. And as far as I like this module so far, I mean, it's actually really fun. It's really creepy. I never played the Neverwinter MMO thoroughly by myself, so having like a white around a corner or a room full of zombies where it's like, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to kill them and then light the altar, not light the altar and have that just murder all of them. As situations that we're encountering is really fun for me, especially because it kind of provides a more in-game setting as to why we're fighting things like zombies and things like whites. So I think that's really fun. But yeah, that's where you can find me. YouTube at Simple and Keen, Twitter at Simple and Keen.
Awesome. And finishing us out for tonight, Becky, if you want people to be able to check anything out you've got going on, let us know. Or what are your thoughts on the module so far?
This is my first time on Twitch, so I don't have anything else. But I had a lot of fun being on this, and once I got over the how do I look, what's going on, what am I doing, once we got into the game, I think it was a lot better. I really like this. I haven't actually done like a dungeon in so long, and it's really great to just kind of be figuring out a new character and figuring out how we as characters interact with each other. Being in such a small group makes it more tight-knit and more exciting to have those relationships and whatnot. And my cat really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. And everybody's voices were good, so everybody earned inspiration this session. So when we play again, you will have inspiration for your next session. And don't forget that it is possible. You don't have a time limit technically on this, so taking a short break might not be a harmful thing to your small group. But
I'd really like a short rest.
Yeah, I'm SirLucien and SirLucien's Gaming. Thank you for coming to my channel. As you can tell, we do a lot of role-playing games, and it's not just Dungeons and Dragons, though we have been doing quite a bit of that. We're going to be at some conventions coming up, so if you're over at Marmalade Dog, you can come say hello. For me and Graybeard are going to be there playing some games. I'm going to be running some masks. He's going to be running some Dungeon World, and then we're just going to be sitting around and playing probably Battletech Simulator stuff too. Come say hi at the Marmalade Dog. That's the Western Michigan University's gaming convention in Kalamazoo. Other than that, you can also see us over. We're going to be at Gen Con in August. If you want to come say hello to us there, we're going to be running games also. And if you want to check out the channel, youtube.com/SirLucien. Obviously, you're on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SirLucien. And my Twitter is SirLucien Gaming, all one word. So at SirLucien Gaming, all one word. So thanks for coming. You guys are super awesome players. I'm going to do a whole video on YouTube after we run our players through this on my thoughts on what I thought about the module, what I like, how I set it up, how I got it ready in Roll20 to be playable, and then even if other people want to use it, I can probably copy it to somewhere they can use it also, type of thing.
Sweet.
So this would be pretty cool. And I'm loving it so far. I really liked reading the story. I like what's going on in the background that you guys don't know about yet. And it's coming up. It's going to be really good. And it's fun to do a dungeon delve. I love dynamic lighting. I love letting the characters move through the stuff and see what happens. So, all right, let's get out of here. We've done 3 hours of gaming. Time to let these people go. They probably have work in the morning. So thanks for showing up to our game, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.